All right, and we should be live. Welcome everyone to the Chromag build, and beneath me, I got these two knuckleheads that are going to cheer me on the whole way through.
Yes.
Uh, Brian,
Our own flavor
Robert,
of cheering.
yeah.
What's
So,
up, YouTube?
for those who don't know, this guy right here is Robert B1ker, and then this guy I decided to let on the live stream. He's pretty cool too, I guess. So, all right. Just to let you all know, there are a few little glitches. We had this button down 2 days ago. We streamed for like 2 hours on a test account. Nothing went wrong. And then, of course, we wake up this morning and everything's a little glitchy. So I found a workaround, but if something freezes, I'll try to realize it and press the right button to fix it. So, but hey, how's everyone doing today? It's a nice Sunday afternoon. Got a lot of faces in here today. How many
Hey,
got watching?
my fantasy football team is kicking ass.
Oh
Great.
yeah.
Nice.
Joseph
One more
Joseph
week till
said
the
ahead of time we weren't allowed to talk about sports, remember?
The only
Nice.
thing that matters, except it doesn't matter at all.
Nice. All right. So right off the gate, Robert's video has frozen.
We're
Robert,
back.
you still
I think,
there?
yeah, Rob's froze.
I'm hearing
Rob,
your
you still-
audio still.
Oh, no,
I
he's
don't know
here,
if you
he's
want me to
here.
drop out of the call.
No, nope. There it is. All right.
Come-
There's a lot of moving pieces in this live stream. Like I said, we had a lot of fun getting it done the other day. But let's just go ahead and press on. So today, we're going to be building up this guy behind me. This is a Chromag root down. It's a 29er or 27 plus hardtail steel frame. I'm going to be putting a few little goodies on here. And yeah, these two guys are going to cheer me along, like I said.
So that thing is really pretty. First of all, I think that you got to say a brand new bike with a brand new paint job is just like
Yeah.
something special.
Untouched.
Definitely, yeah. You know what's funny though? I've already scratched the paint a little bit, but I'm okay with that because you got to get that first nick in, so that way tools, not jewels. That's what my buddy Paul says about bikes. You know, appreciate them, take care of them, but don't be afraid to get them a little bit dinged up.
So pardon me if I oh, look at this MTV
What?
Savant.
$20 super
First
chat,
one.
Savant. You are awesome. Thank you so much. You're the first one too.
So cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you may or may not have talked about this on your channel somewhere, and maybe I missed it. But what's the purpose of this bike?
So a couple purposes. First off, I love hardtails. I have a 2017 Yeti SB5 Plus, but there's something about a hardtail that's just super fun. I had a Ragley Bigwig that was a 27 Plus, and that was a hardtail. That was like my first real mountain bike that I rode out here in Austin, and that I built up from scratch. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's not only going to be just a fun hardtail. I think that I might be traveling with this guy just because it's steel. It can take more abuse, easy to break down, easier to maintain.
Nice.
Right on.
So yeah, let me pull up the.
So what's the deal with the? I am not familiar with the brand as well. So what's the deal with them? What's Chromag like? How do you come about being with and having to do with anything with them?
I've seen their handlebars.
Yeah, so Chromags, you know, they make stems, they make saddles, they make a bunch of different things. The reason why I picked this was quite honestly the color, the reliability. I did a bunch of research on Chromag themselves before I ordered the bike. Before that, I was looking at a few other hardtails, but there was something about this Chromag. Also, I found out that my local bike shop carried it, so that was pretty awesome. Because I can just get it working if anything happens to it. All right, I think some people want me to go ahead and actually start putting the bike together.
Oh,
Yeah, the
wait a
locals are
second.
getting reckless.
Biker just topped him. Biker just went over the top.
Oh, what, Biker? You're
Those
awesome,
bike-
man.
the black and white logos, they kind of blend in with each other. It's hard to tell who's who.
Yeah. All right. Let me get the pop-out chat going.
Yeah.
Maximize that.
So, hang on. I gotta let Rudy back in the house. He doesn't like being outside anymore. He's not a cool dog.
Rudy's a pretty friggin' cool dog. I dig that guy. I'm sharing this out right now. I'm not just playing on my phone. I'm making sure that everyone can see it.
Right on. Appreciate that. All right.
Just ditched my family dinner to come watch this. That's awesome.
Oh man, that's crazy. Y'all should spend time with your family.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it nonetheless, guys. All right. So I'm gonna put on a fresh pair of gloves. I did do a little bit of cheating earlier. I got some basic stuff done.
How dare you?
I know, I'm cheating on y'all.
Can't believe you're putting gloves on. Aren't your hands sweating there?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I'm going to be working with camera stuff, so I'd rather have sweaty palms than get grease all over my stuff. So I usually like to start from the bottom and work my way up. So right now, we're going to go ahead and get just some quick work done. Start out with the cranks.
Is your bottom bracket in?
Yes, the bottom bracket and the headset have already been put in. Just
and that comes when you buy the bike, or did you actually select that? Okay.
No, you get the frame only. You have to buy literally everything except for the axle, which is a little bit of a pain. So I had to get the seat tube clamp, the bottom bracket, and then the headset.
Those are the three things that are like, you friggin' have to get the diameter and figure, oh no, I got that right. Did I get the wrong one? Like that. That's like, especially if you're like buying it used from someone else or something. I think it's cool.
You know, one thing I'll say to the people that are watching, like that the phone number for the bike company is always on their website, and I can't tell you how many times I've called a company and been like, hey, what is the millimeter of the seat tube, or what is the original part that you put on? Like they have all that information, and the bike companies are there. At least the ones that I've called, at least in the past, they've all been very responsive on answering my questions.
It's so funny because that's like the last resort for me. Like I would almost never think to actually call someone up on the phone. Like, it's like such a friggin', I can't find it in Google, or like you're looking through the docs, and when, in 2 seconds, you could have somebody answer the question. The guys at Worldwide Cyclery are also pretty good. Like on that live chat thing, like I'll ask them like questions like real quick, like, hey, I got this Bronson or whatever, like with the boost and knob and boost and all that stuff. Like, so also a good resource.
Definitely.
So what's your recent choice there, Joseph?
Today's vintage is Park Tool PPL1. This is just some basic overall grease. I'm just greasing up some certain parts as I go, just because if you have to ask, you probably need to put grease on it. Joseph, is this your first ground up build? No, I have done many ground up builds before. This is the first one that I'm live streaming though. Actually the first video I posted on my channel was a Salsa Via build, and that was kind of a frame up build. Although I got the parts from a previous bike.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So first task, make sure I don't screw up the cranks on here.
Right.
Random tip, like I'm not the best mechanic at all, but someone mentioned this and I thought it was really interesting, that grease attracts dirt. So, you don't want to put grease anywhere that will be, getting super dirty. You need it to grease up moving parts, but there's places where it like might actually be a bad place to put it.
Yeah, whenever I do my bike, I pretty much grease everything, like the entire, just dip it in a big vat of grease and take it out. And then
it's so smooth that way.
And then I find out afterwards that I didn't need that much, and but at least that click went away. Whatever it was, it's gone now.
I had such a horrendous friggin', I think it's my headset just clicking to hell in Africa. Just watch all the videos back. It's just click, 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 click. Ah.
Yeah,
those
it sucks
sounds
when you
don't
get a
bother
rattle.
you until you have a YouTube channel.
No, not
Like
at all.
I would have never heard any of this. Like my seat makes noise.
Yeah.
None of that stuff. I would have never, ever, ever heard it if it wasn't for this damn channel.
Yep. Weird thing
Yep.
where I clear my throat sometimes, and it's like a, and you can like hear it, and it's like, oh God, edit that out.
The other thing is like you also find out what words you say a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh, I have to edit out so many times because I start so many sentences with so I was doing this and so I'm like, dude, if I left them all in there, it would be like we could run a little counter on the bottom of the screen and it would just be like ding, ding, ding.
Start everything with all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
McConaughey style.
I do say all right as well.
Yeah.
Chris, I actually edit out all my snot rockets now because I can't have it in there. Like I don't want to have any, like even in the extended cuts, I edit them out because it's just so gross. But I'm sure there's still a couple that I leave in.
All right, I have a question for the chat because I don't have Google handy. Can someone look up the torque rating for race face effect cranks? I got it to about, 40 Newton meter or inch pounds, but that's way too light, but I just wanted to put it on. So race face effect cranks torque rating for this bolt here on the side.
Love it.
What's that? Crowdsourcing my bike build.
Yeah.
MGB Drop-In, what's up? Sorry for ignoring the chat, guys. That's part why I brought these guys in.
Here, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to be paying attention to them.
Yeah.
I was watching your bike build.
Jordan Byron says it's 100,000 Newton meters at least. You need a pretty
That's
long,
over 9,000.
You need a pretty long lever for that.
Yeah. It's over 9,000. All right. Let's go ahead. While people are looking up that, I'm going to start putting on my pedals.
I don't think you're going to get a serious answer at this.
Yeah, serious answer, right?
As well, and no front brakes just showed up.
Hey.
What's that?
I said we have MTBing Adventures on the channel, and no front brakes just showed up. Drop-ins on.
Nice.
Louis Bernal.
Got the whole crew. Brian's crispy ass nuggets.
72 people watching the stream. That is quite legit.
That's really
legit.
Luann,
I'm famous.
Hey, we need to stop the shout out train.
33 to 41 Newton meters.
Okay, that
sounds like a very accurate answer.
Exactly.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Subscriber that gives us all the 2% now of when you're looking at your metrics of women versus men on your channel.
Yeah, exactly. There they are. Both of them have commented.
All right. So let me swap out now.
Nice.
There's an old saying in cooking.
Yeah, he has the same, or he or she, I'm not sure.
They.
It's all the city, I'm assuming.
Pronouns. Very.
Yes.
I'm not going there.
You are in California. You have to be careful about those things. All right, I got to get my big tool out if I'm going to go that high on the Newton rating.
Oh,
which
shit.
I just had it.
Oh shoot.
Here it is.
So I'm wondering yeah. Where'd it go? 33 to 41.
Oh man.
Newton meter. A torque wrench is very, very nice to have. Honestly, like after a bike stand, a good torque wrench is very handy to have. Because the last thing you want to do is under or over tighten something. That is a great way to have a bad time.
The right.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I bought that torque wrench from Park. That's similar in size as that. And then I also bought the little one, like this here, that is just basically it only does like 4.5, 4, and 6, and 5, 5.5. And this is the one I use almost all the time. Everything else that I would have more torque on it, like a crank like that, I think I would just do like by experience, you know. Oh, that's good enough. you know?
Yeah.
The
You know,
guy
when
who
you're a
has
bike
shit
mechanic,
shaking loose on the trail all the time.
dude,
main
I've
reason I bought
had
the
a
torque,
stem go
that
loose
little
on me.
one-
It's terrifying. It is legit
Yeah.
terrifying when something goes loose, especially when you're heading down a
Stem.
chunky hill.
Oh yeah, that happened on Rob. The stem got loose on that Georgetown ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of crazy.
Wheel went one way, handlebars
It was
went.
really interesting though how fast my brain compensated for it, because it was like my hands turned one direction and my wheel was not going the right way, but I still needed to steer, and it was like it surprised me how fast I was able to calculate which way to actually go.
Yeah, that's great.
It's all those beers, the nutrition.
Muscle memory.
All right.
Right.
So we're installing some little booties for my cranks.
Oh, yeah. Number one
Just to
thing.
Yeah, gotta have little booties.
81
All
people
right.
watching now. You guys
81.
better subscribe up to Trail Features if you aren't subscribed.
Indeed. You can see me bust my face on this when I forget to tighten something down.
Go!
Like, oh. All right.
So how much was the
booties-
frame?
Frame wasn't cheap, actually, but good frames are not. I believe this was like six something.
$6,000. Holy moly, that's a lot.
No, 600.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not that new Yeti. Okay, who here has seen the new Yeti gravel bike that came up? Who is the company they partnered with?
Open.
I loved it. Like when I saw it, I clicked on it because I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. And then I saw how much the price was. JC Trails! Thanks, man. That is awesome. So much
He didn't
love.
top it though.
Yeah.
He wasn't here, I guess, long enough to know that we're trying to top every one of them.
Still,
well,
3 for 3. That's some friggin' awesome super chattage.
yeah. Oh, by the way, these are race face gestures. Just some inexpensive composite, if I can use words right.
The best selling, I think Worldwide Cyclery says those are the best selling item on their site. Race face Chester.
You know, there are better pedals out there. I will totally admit that.
Do you ride flats on your full suspension too?
Always, yes. I have the shin scars to prove it. But you know, they're not the best pedals in the world. I'll totally give that to argument. But for the cost, I mean, they're pretty hard to beat.
Yeah. It is kind of a disposable thing, right? I mean, your pedals get my Shimano pedals definitely lasted a long time, but I feel like flat pedals maybe have a little more leeway.
Ooh, super chat from No Front Brakes.
No Front Brakes. Welcome to the world of super chat. I can't top these guys, but congrats. Thank you, Eric. I definitely appreciate it, man.
That's great.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Love.
Oh,
JC
so much
Trail
love.
said congrats on the 1K, and that is actually, you know, really exciting as well. I mean,
It is.
that mark. I know for me, whenever I hit 1,000, I felt like that was like enough people to make me feel like I was doing something right.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
It's like this. Every single little milestone is just, and even now with I have over 100,000 or whatever, but it's just this funny mental thing of just like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next climb? What's the next? How am I making an impact? And it's every single little thing, and every single YouTuber always says like, oh yeah, the first 500, that was the hardest thing. Oh, the first 1,000, Jesus, it was so hard. So as long as you keep making good stuff, people will find it.
Definitely. And I look at it this way. Time is literally the most precious commodity out there, because you can borrow money from someone and they can give it back and give more back. But when you give someone your time, that's irreplaceable. So the fact that people are taking time out of their day to watch me goof around with cameras and bikes and stuff, I mean, I do appreciate it, because that's time that I can't give back.
Yeah, it is. I think about that a lot when I look at the watch time and see millions of minutes of watch time on my channel in a month. It's like, holy moly, it's unfathomable.
It is. That's humanity out there, giving time to you.
I have to say, I agree with ML Tech. He said that your interview, Ryan, with me was the best one.
It was great.
I'm not biased or anything, but
No,
No, totally not at all.
Yeah, I loved it. I love those things, man. I love them so much. Charlotte
All
Booter.
right.
I rode flats when I first started mountain biking, and then once I got comfortable, I switched to clips. And now more and more I do consider going to flats and actually learning how to bunny hop properly and all that stuff. We might see that happen on my channel.
Buy some good
You
shin
say that,
guards.
Ryan, because like somebody asked me the other day if I was gonna ride flats or something like that, and it made me realize that I've never ridden mountain bike with flats. When I
Wow.
started riding in the 90s, we had toe clips, and whenever I got back, like I took a little break, and then I got back into riding, I started straight with clips. And I
Yeah.
always rode BMX with flats, obviously, but like I've never ridden mountain bike with flats.
Yeah, I think it seems like the tide is definitely it's turning, and for me, I just don't feel like I have enough skills. I like the foundation of skills, and I was looking at that Ryan Leach program, like the monthly training program. Like one of the things is like the flat pedal challenge, do 12 rides with flat pedals, and it seems interesting. My shins, I've taken so many hits on my shins, even, when I had my flat pedals, and it was a relief to switch to clips. And honestly, everyone thinks like, oh my God, suicide clips. Like I've never had a problem not being able to clip out. It's never
The
been
only
a thing.
time I have a problem with clipping out is whenever I tell people I never have a problem
Yeah, I'm good.
Exactly.
Uh,
No problem.
thanks for.
That's what happened to me
They-
on that Trails to Fails video. I freaking fell into a big bush of freaking poison oak because on the way up, I was telling my son about how like, oh, I never get stuck in my clips. I can jump out no matter
It's
what.
so easy.
I'm just gonna haphazardly throw stuff around. Daily MTB, thanks for the love, man. I definitely love what you're doing over there too. And if I am up in Bellingham, which I will be eventually this year, I will definitely hit you up, man. We need to go riding sometime, and hopefully I won't eat dirt on that freaking switchback climb like I did last time.
I saw that little part where was it in Daily MTB's live stream where you had mentioned like he had mentioned seeing you do that, and then he had like he sees that switchback and stuff. That was a funny little moment.
Yeah. Let's see. Got the shifter out and
Ranger
then
says,
realized.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I got the shifter out and then I realized I don't have a bar. Get ahead of myself.
Dude, that red and blue,
Fail.
it looks good.
Womp womp. Oh, dude, I'm so
Almost
stoked
as good
on
as
this.
that red BKXC pillow back there.
Oh,
Available on
beat me to it.
teespring.com.
I'll tell you,
Indeed.
Brian, whenever I first like chatted with him or whatever, and we were on video, that was one of the first things I said to him was that when I saw that pillow on your site, I was like, who the fuck buys a BKXC pillow? And then this guy gets on, and I'm like, this is the guy. Oh my God.
That's a stupid little
Definitely.
thing. It's a great prop.
You know what's funny? I have the part. There's supposed to be something going right here.
Like an
Can
axle
anyone guess
or
what it is?
Derailleur.
No, derailleur.
Hanger?
I will be right back, guys, because I need to go grab a frame that has the derailleur that I'm going to use. I will be right back. Brian, Ryan, you're on entertainment. I'll be right back.
All right. Now let's pick apart his room.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he's got going on in there.
Acoustic foam.
I'll tell you what. Did he say if this is a 29er or a 27.5? Do you remember that?
He didn't say. He said it either or. I'm not sure what he's actually going to put on. And the wheels in the bottom left, if we zoom in, if we enhance, it kind of looks like 27.5.
He said you could put either or on it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. It just changes the geometry then, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Have you ridden any of the 29ers lately?
I did the high tower, just the normal high tower in Utah, but like the Rayon in Spain, that was a long travel 29er, and I dig it. I still feel like I would need to ride the same trail back to back and the two different bike, like ride my bike, ride the Rayon, and like be like, okay, here's what it feels like. Here's how I do it. But yeah, I'm just not there. I'm not there in my my expertise.
I haven't ridden a 29er recently, but I rode that tall boy that had the 27.5 plus on it, which was essentially the circumference is close to 29 as well. Oh, Jordan trumped me.
2101.
2101. Ah.
That's
All
great.
right. Thanks for being patient, guys. What'd I miss?
You did. I think you did miss the Daily MTB Rider, or did we? No, we saw. We saw Daily MTB Rider had the $2. Thanks for the love. Keep up the good work. I think we saw that.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So what size wheels are you putting on? That's what we were asking earlier.
So I have a fresh set of 29er wheels that I'm going to be putting onto this guy. They have Pro 4 Hope hubs.
Nice.
Just 180 millimeter brakes. Don't need anything bigger than that. Right now, this has I believe it's 2.3 tire mounted on the rear and a 2.5 on the front. However, I do have another 2.5 that I'm also going to be playing around with for the rear. Get that extra little cush. However, I also have a set of 27 plus on my Yeti that I can put on here anytime I want.
Okay.
So
Okay.
best of both worlds.
It's great.
Yeah, as I say, 29 for the Huck, 27 plus for the Chuck. All right, so I gotta get the derailleur off of this guy.
I've been
Donor
wanting
cycle.
Donor cycle, Frankenbike. Who
I've
doesn't
been
like a
wanting
good Frankenbike?
to build a single speed for a long time, and this is making me want to do it even more.
Psychopath.
They're great. They really are. I mean, I have. Does this one have a master link, or do I need to break the chain? Yep. There we go. I haven't ridden full time a single speed, but I've tried them out, and I really, really like the simplicity of it. So
You know how
I
you
have
can
a single
tell
speed
somebody
that I
who
use.
rides a single speed? They tell you within the first 5 seconds of meeting.
I have
Isn't
one
that the
that I
truth?
use for road, and I never really quite got it until I started riding that thing a lot. And it's like when you pass somebody that has gears and you have one, it feels good. I don't care who you are. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
like-
Definitely. If you can get to that point, you're going to be strong as hell. Like I remember doing this crazy race called Sonomos and in Sonoma like a couple years ago, and it's like a 30-mile mountain bike course with 7,000 feet of climbing. And there was a guy that was ahead of me on a single speed, and it's like, holy crap!
Oh yeah, dude.
you guys ever watch that documentary, Ride the Divide?
Shoot, did I? I think so.
It's basically a unsupported mountain bike race from Banff, Canada to Mexico, right?
Yeah, Antelope
And,
Wells. Yeah.
Like, let's just say the record for them completing it is like 15 days on a geared bike. Somebody, of course, fucking single speeder, did it in like 19 days on a single speed.
Yeah.
It's like 3,600 miles on a single speed, dude, in 19 days. Like, you know that guy is just a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Do
see.
those rides hold any interest for you guys?
What's that?
I'll tell you,
The
honestly,
crazy ass marathon rides where it's like you go, but how many miles is it? 700 miles, 800, 1,000 miles? It's crazy. Canada to Mexico.
I think it was like 3,000 miles, something like that total.
Yeah. It's
So I'll tell you, honestly, there is a little bit of me that would love to do that. I think, and I don't care if it took me like a month and a half to do it, you know?
Yeah.
I just think to me that it's like an epic adventure,
Absolutely.
you know, and that to me just is appealing.
Definitely. I don't feel like I'd ever be in shape enough, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm good. It's like, that idea of those guys, like the winners always like hallucinate because they never sleep. They do like,
Right.
3 hours of sleep total, and they finish it in 4 days, like the Colorado Trail race. And there's a bunch of races like this. Like the Great Divide is kind of the main banner ride, I think, but there's a lot of other ones like the Arizona Trail race, like the shorter 500-mile races where it's like these guys do it in like 3 or 4 days. Just
Yeah.
crazy.
I watched another one too, a road biking one. I don't remember what the name was, and they rode from like Seattle to like Virginia or something like that on road bikes. And those guys like you said, I think in total slept for like a couple of hours over 6 or 7 days, and just like we're hammering out 300-400 mile days. It's like I can't even imagine what material is their tank made out of?
Yes, yeah. Rubbed
Yeah.
raw. And what zone do you get in? It's like I've gone this far, you know? I've just exerted myself so much, but I've gone this far. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to put the cassette on.
Oh, he's got the calves. He's got the calves out. Watch out.
Oh, you want to see the...
Wow.
There's one right there. That's what you got to look forward to with flats.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to be putting on a 11-speed cassette, 11 to 42. The reason why is because I'm running a 28 chainring in the front, so I didn't want to go too wide on the back.
Right on.
Hey, whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly.
That means he doesn't have the eagle.
Yep.
No. Hey, Joe, why don't you have an eagle camera? All my money went into camera gear.
Yeah, all in the camera gear.
So what's everyone talking about in the chat right now?
They are talking about your calves, how amazing they are, how much they want to see them glistened up and shaved down.
Oh my!
It's getting crazy in there.
Eric from No Front Breaks is saying make sure you stack your cassette correctly. That would be a mistake that I haven't done yet. I'll tell you that I typically do my bike work with beer, and if it's a long project, the end of the project could be a little bit sloppy.
The loose ends at the end just fall asleep at the bike stand.
Yeah, just screw it. That's all right. It doesn't matter.
Hey, that's why they call it a shakeout ride, right?
Right.
Shakeout ride, yeah.
All right.
Wow, we just passed over 100 people watching on the live stream. I just looked down; it was 95. Now it's at 103. That's friggin' awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you, everyone who's joining.
I've had 100 people in a live stream on my live stream. So
if you're digging it, hit that upvote. Hit that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got to hit the like button.
Smash the like button.
Boom.
I saw Spencer mentioned earlier I should go ride JMP, Joaquin Miller Park. I will go ride JMP sometime. I really enjoyed my my ride out there, dude. It was fun.
I know a guy that lives down that way.
I know. It's Mr. MTB Savant. Well, he lives a little further from there now.
Yeah. He's moving, huh?
All right.
Nuggatory
Here we go.
coming along, Daily MTB Rider. It's I have not spent any friggin' time on it. I need to spend some time on it, but it'll happen. It'll get there.
Oh, I should show you guys. I should have you guys be able to witness the bike coming together instead of just looking at my my Hobbit feet.
Hobbit feet. I don't know, man. Everybody seems to like it, though.
Yeah, to each his own.
Hey, it is the internet.
Savant's lurking in the background, probably playing with his child.
So what's the camera you got on the bike?
This guy right here.
The one you were just looking through.
Yeah.
That is a Panasonic GH5 with a Canon 16 to 35 f4 and a speed booster.
So in English, that means that's like a Carbon Bronson, or?
As in the camera world, I mean that's actually more of like
price wise. I'm assuming that thing's expensive as
a Walmart bike.
I will say that I forgot how much I've spent on it. I'll leave it at that.
I started looking at friggin' cameras last night. It's like, why do my camera's fine. The RX 100's fine for vlogging, but it's like, the A7S or whatever. Oh, Mark III might be out soon. It's low light, and you got lenses, and it's like, it never ends.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, that's. I apologize for the punch in real quick. That is why I am a big advocate of use the camera you got. The best camera is the one with you, just like the best bike is the one you own.
Yep, it is, because we are never satisfied. You can always obsess. You can always get something better. Basically, these companies have found a way to tap into what we're what we're into.
When I bought my Bronson, I thought this has every part on it that I could ever want. Like this is, I'm gonna buy this bike, and I'm actually not gonna have to buy shit anymore. And it was like as soon as I bought it, I was already like, well, I could change this. I could change this. What the hell, man?
That's how they get you.
These are pretty
First
good.
one's always free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. The camera industry is almost worse than the bike industry, to be honest. Because you have all these different lens mounts. You have, well, everything's blocking my face. Oh, well, all these different lens mounts, sensors. Everyone uses different color profiles. God help you if you're doing a shoot and you have like a Panasonic, a Canon, and then a Sony, color matching that. Yeah. But these are problems that hopefully the majority of the people here will never have to deal with.
Yeah.
It is a slippery slope, Dan.
I can pretty much tell you I won't. So what kind of brakes you got on there, SRAM?
You know, I decided that I've already punished myself enough throughout the year, so I decided to go with Shimano.
Sweet. I cannot wait to buy fucking the new Shimano brakes. I hate my SRAM brakes with every ounce of my soul.
Is there a new Shimano brake coming out? Or
yeah, there's a new XT that's going to be a 4-piston. So
wow, that's pretty legit. That's awesome.
Yes, we have some nice XT goodies there.
Those are the 8000s.
Yep, XTs. I thought about going XTR, but I mean, this bike is designed purposefully to take a beating. So everything on here was the best cost for the reliability. And we'll get into that more with the dropper post, because that was the exact reason why I reached out to P&W Components to get the Rainier. Okay, anyone in the Pacific Northwest, can you remind me how to pronounce it correctly?
Rainier.
By spelling it phonetically, I guess. I don't know why I'm asking for them to like say it.
Yeah.
Rainier.
Rainier.
Rainier. I was homeschooled.
Rainier.
My word's good.
Yep.
All right. So, let's go ahead and... should I cable it next or cable it last? Well, I can't cable it until I have the cables on it, which would require, you know, the fork and everything. So we'll just go ahead and throw the chain on there, and I will, it actually looks pretty close to indexed. I'll tweak it real quick.
Eyeballing it.
Yeah, just whatever. We'll do it live.
Yeah, this light, John, this light makes me look very white and pale right here, but I did get a tan. There's definitely some Africa tan going on.
Yeah, so Africa. How was I've been trying to catch up with the series, Brian. Any fun things to look forward to? I know you're saying like the first couple episodes were more of just setting up the story for the rest of the trip.
Yeah, all of them are good for sure. Like it's really cool to actually like go back and watch the videos and be like, oh man, so much happened. Like my favorite thing is when so much happens in one day that I can split it into 2 different videos, and like it's like, man, it's like so action packed and so many things, and yeah, it's really cool to actually get to see the food and the people and all the goofiness. I think everyone's going to enjoy it for sure.
What was the thing that surprised you the most? Like whether it be the trail riding, the scenery, like, you know, Africa is this gorgeous country that not a lot of us get to see. So like, was there anything where when you saw it, you're like, wow, that's incredible. I can't believe it.
I think, you know, when you decide the first thing I think of really is like how scared everyone is of it. And it's like, oh my God, you know, I got some fucking nasty comments from people like, come on, grow up. And like how safe I felt, and how like, you know, how it was like, they, you know, we are a couple, like it was me and Adam riding out in like very remote areas where we are the only white people and we're on these expensive bikes and stuff, but it still did not feel like any uncomfortableness, like, you know, bits and pieces here and there, just like going through any place, you're going to feel a little uncomfortable. But like, it was very, very cool just to be like out there and like, hey, they feel very welcome and they feel nice and yeah, it was neat.
So what animals did you get to see?
Oh man, on the third day we went to Hell's Gate National Park. We saw baboons, giraffes, zebras, wildebeest, warthogs, like all of it right there. Like, and the camera captured some of it. Not
Like
that
where you
great.
were riding, or
Yeah, just where we were riding. It was cool.
that's just crazy to think about.
It is. It's neat. It was right there, like just really neat scenery and like kind of the perfect adventure ride. It was awesome. It was also really funny how it was like a national park, but there was very much like natural gas farming and like a lot of like industrial equipment and stuff. Where it's like, you gotta make money too.
Yeah. Quick comment that I saw in the chat. Yes, I know the factory grease for chains are horrendous. I'm just building up the bike. All the tuning and tweaking and all that stuff I'm going to do off stream. You guys don't need to watch me clean my chain. So I do appreciate you calling that out, because when I first put my bike together, I was like, oh, it's already greased. What's the worst that could happen? Went for a ride. Yeah, crunch. So yes, I appreciate it. Yep, simple green. Yep. So the cassette, the derailleur, everything is dirty. I need to clean it. So yeah, the bike's going to be getting cleaned before it actually gets its maiden voyage. But good call out. That is some prime beta on putting together a bike.
Make sure it's clean.
Yeah. Make sure it's clean.
Cosmo. I have no idea.
I'll tell you what. That's pretty much the only time my bike was actually truly clean would be when it was new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with the Yeti, which, the paint has pretty much gotten beat to crap. I still remember the first time I washed it out. It was most terribly liberating experience I had on the Yeti. Was like washing out, hearing the frame grind against the dirt, and then you look down at it, and for a split second you want to get mad, and then you're like, oh, thank God I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like now I can actually enjoy the bike.
Yeah. That pristine thing.
Yep. All right, let's see if I can remember how to thread a derailleur. Up, over, around, and through, I think.
I always get this part messed up.
Yeah, me too.
A few times.
Hey, the chain's not on.
That like almost rubbed the whole. You know how it has the little tab on the derailleur hanger, like that the chain is supposed to be on one side of. I had one wrong for so long that it almost broke through that piece.
Yeah.
Although I should get the chain slack out first before I try to do that. Derp.
De-slackify it.
Yep. All right, let's see how many links I want to take out of this guy. Make sure it's all the way over.
Oh, what are you doing there? I have never seen anybody do this, whatever you're doing.
Okay, so normally, before one buys, you would put it on the biggest cog and the biggest chain ring, and basically give it a couple more links, just kind of tighten it up. Don't thread it through the derailleur. And then just take out the tension and kind of eyeball where it needs to be broken, and then add another link. So for me, it actually lines up almost perfectly. You want like one or two extra links, and the chat can feel free to correct me if this is antiquated knowledge, but tighten it and then add one or two extra links, because your cage will take up the extra slack. That's literally its job. So, and of course I did that without my chain breaker.
Yeah, I mean, I always put mine through the derailleur. I mean, in the same sense, but I'm on the biggest, and then I want to make sure that the derailleur is just not stretched all the way forward. That's kind of how I do it. And then I put it in the smallest gear and make sure that it's not touching the back end, like it's too loose. So that's really interesting to me that I mean, there's always another way to do things, right?
Always. And then on a full suspension, you at least I learned this on my live stream. You let all the air out of the suspension and kind of make it in the fully compressed spot.
Yes, you bring up an outstanding point, Brian. So on a hardtail, you can get away with making it as tight as possible. On a full suspension bike, you will have a little bit of chain growth. So you need to make sure, is it chain growth? I forget that's the proper term. I think it's chain growth. But anyways, you need to add a few extra links more than you would on a hardtail. It's always best to add a little bit extra and then realize you can tighten it up, then go, well, time to order a new chain. Or time to order a new derailleur after you wreck it from stretching it out.
Just friggin' rip it right off.
Yeah. So.
My chain's a grower, not a shower. Nice, Eric.
There you go. So much for that PG rating. Thanks, Eric. Lost all my sponsors.
We blew that. We blew that earlier.
Hashtag YouTube money gone.
PG-13, they are allowed at least one F-bomb. I think I've already dropped 2, though.
Oh, I'm sure I probably cashed in. Like,
well,
in the
fucking thanks for that, Brian. All right. So I think I'm going to let out. So that's right there. Yeah, we're going to do that guy right there. That should be good. Oh, look at all that extra chain.
Just a happy little chain.
So here, let's answer this question. What was the most number, and this is for you guys in the chat as well, the most number of quick links that you've had in your chain?
3, and I hate to admit that.
I've had 3.
Oh my God.
At one point.
So my first bike, the Ragley, that I built up, I made so many mistakes on that. Like, how do you get good at anything? Make a lot of mistakes. So I messed up on that, and I cut the chain too short. And then I had to use quick links to put it back together so I could actually, use it, because I didn't want to buy a whole new chain.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the chain broke, and I had to put on another link. So
I've only had one. I've never thought about like actually piecing it together. I just haven't had that many chain problems somehow. Knock on.
That's when I'm surprised that you don't carry extra links in your bag, Brian.
I do. I carry extra links. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have a tool that I would be able to put them on or take them off with.
Yeah.
Well, according to Seth, you can use a shoestring, which I want to tell you, I was on the trail when I did that birthday ride, and this guy had a problem, and we were trying to get his chain off, and I told him, dude, I saw Seth do it. He had this brand new pair of, what are those flat shoes that everybody wears?
510s or whatever.
510s.
Brand new pair of 510s, takes the shoelace out, puts it through the chain, and the chain does not come open, the shoelace breaks.
Unsubscribed.
Yeah, because now he has a pipe that's fucked up and a shoelace that's broken.
Yeah.
You can't get your shoe tied on. Like, oh no, horrible. Hey, what's up, Evan? I see you in the chat there. My buddy Evan that goes to college in Prescott, Arizona, back home. I saw him on his Instagram. He saw my Instagram and joined in on the live stream. I'm glad you guys are joining in.
I appreciate that. Okay, I can do this. There we go. All right. Now we just bring it up over.
There's a lot of good weight loss stories going on in the chat right now. I don't want to pass that over, because that is one of the most amazing things about mountain biking, is how friggin' hard it is at the beginning and how it can change your life if you stick to it and just keep riding.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, can't do the brakes. I think it's time to move to the front.
Things going way too quick. This is way too smooth, man.
Don't freaking jinx me. Everyone yell at Brian for trying to jinx this.
This is like, there's 120 people in here. Just everyone's having a good time. Holy moly.
I just love that color. I can't get over it.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is really nice.
I love it. I love it so much.
The red petals really accent it nicely.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be nice. All right, once again, sorry for the punch-in. Everyone can see that at. Oh, in the chat, who all saw the Star Wars movie? Please, no spoilers.
No spoilers allowed.
They were talking about it earlier.
Because I'm curious what you all thought of it, but, don't give any details for the people that haven't seen it yet. But what'd you think of it? Did you like it? Did you think it was a little bit over the top?
I did enjoy it.
We had an off-camera debate before we got on the live stream about whether Rogue One was better than the new one.
Yeah. I think Rogue One might have been better, actually.
I liked them both a lot, but I think I really liked that Rogue One story.
Yeah, and that's so cool that they could do these stories. Like, okay, so we're all about the same age, so we all loved Star Wars when we were kids, and it was this giant rift of like, you know, we're 80s kids, and Star Wars was in the 70s, and like nothing was out, and we were just dying for more Star Wars, and then finally the prequels came out, and it was when we were a little more older. It's just so funny, this whole journey, and now like it's actually legit, it's actually good. They have good directors and good action, and like there's
somebody told me that they were
die.
planning on Disney's planning on releasing a movie, Star Wars movie every year.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, with just about everything that is like a franchise like that, I would get tired of at a certain time. But Star Wars, it's like for some reason, like
there's
I
magic there, man.
2 hours of Darth Vader taking a dump. You know, like.
Because it's this universe, it's this awesome universe where there are, like, just like Rogue One was like this really cool behind the scenes story. Like, how did they get the Death Star plans? Like, it's such a rich universe that old George created that it's awesome.
Yeah, I heard Han Solo was the next movie. It's
okay.
the
Oh, there's
May 25th. Interesting.
The chat's very divided on the Solo movie.
I would like to see the Boba Fett story.
Yeah, definitely. Besides him being a clone or whatever that was, like, let's do something else. Like,
well, I'm Boba the Fett. My backpack got jets. I bounty hunt or Jabba hunt to finance my.
Oh yeah, I saw Disney's gonna have a Star Wars land now.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good.
I wonder if they're gonna have a bar playing silly music.
Totally. All right.
Okay, cool.
Brown race.
Indeed.
So is that from the donor as well, the pork?
So this is actually from my Yeti. To get the chat queued up, earlier today I had a mini panic attack because I realized there were a few small but key components that I forgot to get. One of them was headset spacers. And the second thing was I'm used to the brake mounts that are built onto the bike that have the vertical holes. I apologize for the European viewers out there. I don't mean it in this way, but you guys know what I mean. That have the vertical brake caliper mounts. This has the sideways, so you need that adapter to bring it up, and then I need a spacer. And I have two halfway disassembled bikes in my garage right now to build up this one. That is biker logic right there.
It is. Mountainese.
Indeed. So anyways, this is a RockShox Yari with the MRP ramp controller already installed. Nice. Did a review on that. I know that it's very controversial. Not a lot of people like it. I think for my riding level and the type of terrain that I ride, I really like it. It's definitely nice, but I can totally see how some people would prefer to avoid it, do other upgrades.
What's the is it Yari, Pike, Lyric? Is that the
RockShox Yari? Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
So is it Lyric or like Lyric, Pike, Yari, Pike, Lyric, like the 3 levels?
So Yari,
like the
Lyric?
Cheaper one.
Pike?
Yeah.
And
who knows?
Then,
Revelation.
No,
huh.
Yeah, someone in the chat help me out here because I'm forgetting my ranking as well.
So it's not.
I thought the Lyric was at least maybe not top of the line, but just more heavy duty or heavier. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that for mine purposes. There's nothing. I don't know.
That's why the Fox is so easy. There's the 32,
yeah, bigger number.
And the 36.
Bigger number, better.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Thank you guys.
So, grease up the race here a little bit.
Oh, I need one of those little grease guns like that.
Yeah.
That.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one like you put the grease into it, or is that connected? No, it connects to the tube.
Yeah, it just screws on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people might get a little mad I'm using Switch Infinity grease. Probably not. Probably not the right grease, but it's made for bearings, right?
This is the internet, damn it.
Ah, unsubscribed. Everyone's immediately filing out,
Oh, wow.
burning their
live stream
laptops.
went down to 20 from 113.
Yep. It just friggin' cratered.
Tank.
Real-time feedback. When we started talking about Star Wars, about 10 people bailed out.
Right. Liam wants to know what's up with the gloves. Liam, he's wearing the gloves because he doesn't want to touch his camera gear with grease on his fingers. So
Yes.
I asked the same question earlier.
It's good practice no matter what. I wish I would wear gloves more often, because then I get inside and it's like, God, blackness all in my hands for days.
Yeah, I have some gloves that I do use every once in a while. And I think it's when I know I'm going to be doing like something where I'm working with a lot of the old dirty grease, because otherwise it's stuck under my fingernails for like a week.
Yep. Yeah, my girlfriend reminds me that I need to wash my feet before I go to bed, because I'll be out in the garage working on stuff. I'll get like tire sealant and all sorts of crap on the bottom of my feet, and then I'll come into
Not
bed
a sock
and
man.
yeah, like, oh, it's just as a kid I always just walked around barefoot. I like whatever. Granite,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I have
All right.
like princess feet, so I can't walk across like concrete without it being painful. I'm like, oh, that pillow is a little rough. I need something a little more soft. It was the worst when I was a kid, and you'd go like camping or something like that, and it was like you had to like get from the tent to
the lake
bathroom.
or like, you're getting out, you're trying to dry your feet, and it's like,
Yeah, just no good that way at all.
All right, there we go. Let's see. I might have to get the stem. Let's see if this will hold it on. Sometimes the headset cap dust seal will hold it in place, but we'll see what happens.
We are still live streaming on Trail Features channel right now. Get in here.
Do it!
Do it now.
No.
Oh, did it? No.
No, not quite. Not quite. We'll get the stem. Which, by the way, big shout out to PNW Components. They sent not only a dropper post for me to check out and review, but they also sent this stem, which is pretty cool because it has a GoPro mount on it. Now, I myself found this very interesting because as a mountain bike YouTuber dude, camera angles are always a thought of mine. So being able to mount as many cameras to my bike as completely unreasonably as it is a big priority for me. So
Can
you
be a
get the
legit
thing up
follow
close to the
cam.
camera? I want to see it.
Yeah,
What's
put
that?
Get the mount up on the stem. I want to see the mount and the
Hang
stem.
Let
Like
me
a tight,
switch over
tight
to my
shot.
other camera here so that way everyone can see.
Right
I'm always
on.
terrified to touch this computer because
Yeah.
everything... thanks, Nate. Yeah, whenever I touch this, it goes crazy. So here is the stem here, and it has this little channel carved out, which isn't anything unique until you start to notice that it comes with this thing. And this basically fits into that channel, and then you have the GoPro mount.
Oh,
So
dude, that is sick.
Yeah.
That cool.
That's cool.
I think they just sold another one.
Yeah.
FPV. You have a PNW dropper. Which one do you have? I've been looking at the Bachelor, but I don't have a bike that'll fit it. Actually, they also make droppers for gravel grinders, and I will probably be purchasing, not reaching out, I don't want to abuse the privilege, but purchasing one for my Salsa Via. So let me know which one you have.
Can everyone just take a second and look at the chat right now and see how much MLC Adventures avatar stands out from the crowd?
Oh,
God. That's what your logos need to look like. That's what it needs to
fidget
stand
spinner.
out. It needs to
Yeah.
it needs to be different. That's my rant for the day.
I don't see color, Brian.
Yeah.
I might get flack for that comment. Anyways, all right. Let me get my handy dandy screwdriver. How many we got watching?
We have 117.
Are you kidding?
No, dead serious.
Wow.
Stage fright.
Thanks.
Get stage fright.
Nope. I've been in front of bigger stages at work. I had to talk to a large corporate audience before, and I had about 15 minutes notice about that. So these guys were all like watching me pace around the room because we were running into some major technical problems. After 2 days of testing this and doing a 2-hour test stream, which thanks again, guys, for amusing my paranoia with that.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that just won't do it justice, is that nobody knows you well enough, or maybe they do, to know that you are extremely freaking meticulous and paranoid at the same time.
Yep. Cautiously optimistic. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Anyways, yeah. So it was a long, drawn out process to get here. So I definitely appreciate these guys for being hang on, this is hard. These guys for being here, and all of you guys for being here
I'm gonna
too.
look the wrong. No, dang it! I looked the wrong way.
Oh, the mirror effect gets me so many times. The on-camera YouTube struggle is real. All right. Wow, I might have to cut down this. All the spacers. This is going to look redonkulous, but I know it will. Like I said, I'm going to be doing all of the polish work off the stream, so don't bore y'all.
This is
Hey,
good.
Carson.
I'm really interested in building up something from scratch.
It's, it is a...
Cabling was interesting.
What's that?
Cabling. The cabling of everything is going to be fascinating for me. Cutting the right length of the brake hose and all that stuff that intimidates me.
So hydraulics definitely intimidate a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, bleeding the brakes. I had a friend show me how to do that, and even after I've done it, I'm still like, I don't know if I want to mess with that.
Yeah, Shimano's pretty easy from what I've seen. I've never done it myself. I have the SRAM guide bleed kit. I should just do it someday. Ruin my bike.
It actually wasn't that hard.
Not that
hard.
hard.
One thing that I don't really want to learn is how to build a wheel. I
agree.
It's like
I know. Yeah, I know that people have done it at home. I read up because I was thinking about doing it with these, like going all out. But then I was like, I don't want to be going down a hill and wondering if I trued up the wheel the wrong way.
Totally.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is one of the reasons that really solidified it for me. I got this buddy that is an amazing rider, and he was a mechanic when he was in college, like a bike mechanic. He's a great, like, he knows how to fix a lot of stuff, and I've always asked him for advice on things when I got stuck. And he knows how to build wheels, but he still gets his wheels built by somebody else, because he's like, it is an art form that you have to be like really good at. And he's like, it doesn't matter, man. He's like, it's worth the money to have somebody build you a solid wheel if you know that they're good at it, you know?
Good.
Yeah. No, I am fortunate that I have the ability to pay for someone's expertise. For a lot of people, that's a huge money saver. So if you have the patience, the time, and the cojones to build up your first wheel set, then my hat is off to you.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a bunch of people tell me, they're like, dude, it's really not that hard. You should try it. And it's like, I honestly, I just don't want to try it. I would rather, I'm happier being ignorant, you know?
It's true. That was the thing when I did that video about Wayfarer vans, where you could buy this kit for, I think it was like, $7,000 or something. It has all the pre-cut stuff. It's like, and everyone's like, oh my God, you could do that for $100 at Home Depot. It's like, give me a break, man. There's certain things he's already done it. He's got it all measured out. You just put it in the back of the van and it's done, and you can go camp instead of, it's great that people are DIY people, but there's certain things where it's like, no, I'm not going to spend 80 hours doing this.
Yeah. So this is the Chromag bar that I will be using. Nice, shiny. because I wanted something to accent it. Crashing Dad, take off your shirt. Oh wait, wrong live stream. That's after Shane.
Buy more tokens.
So, yeah, buy more tokens.
This can go into the dumper really quick.
Moving on.
Oh yeah. All right. So I'm going to apologize in advance if I drop this because I have hardwood floors and it is going to break some eardrums, including mine. So I apologize.
Hey, Steve Y in the house. Nice.
So I am really excited for tomorrow. I am riding the SB
MLC, thank you.
Time.
Nice. $2 super chat.
Oh my gosh, getting so much love. Thank you guys.
Sorry, Robert. You were saying something.
Yeah, so like I was saying is I'm riding the SB5 tomorrow for the first time.
Yeah.
And this is the bike that I really wanted to buy instead of the Bronson. So it will be really fun for me to actually see after tomorrow, do I feel like I compromised by getting the Bronson, or was the Yeti like not as good as I thought it was whenever I was reading about it?
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how you react to it because I will say, as I've always said, Yetis are awesome, but they are horrendous to try to fit. Because
To fit, like sizing fit wise?
the reason why is because they are taller than they are longer. So for example, like a Kona. On a Kona, I am a large. On a Yeti, I'm an extra large. If I were to get on a Kona extra large, I have a handlebar mustache, by the way. If I get on a Kona extra large, it's massive. So
Interesting.
that's a big problem because you need reach for people. So yeah,
No, it's tough.
Robert, I'm
everybody's got a
definitely interested.
demo. Got a demo.
How
bike.
tall are you?
I am 6'2" with a 32-inch inseam.
And you ride the extra large Yeti though.
Yes, but I would recommend to try both and decide which you wanna get.
Well, I tell you
tall
right
are you?
now, I rented the large because I actually
Okay.
like my frame to be a little small.
That's probably
for
the wise
about-
thing to do.
And we're actually the same height and same inseam. So, but I'm interested to see how it is. I know when I sized it before when I was planning on buying one, the large is what seemed right to me. But like I said a minute ago, like I do like, and I think it's because riding BMX a lot when I was younger, I like my frame to be a little smaller. It makes me feel like it's just a little more nimble and flickable.
Yeah.
I actually, even when I had the Profit, I had bought an extra large frame during the time that I was riding that Profit just to see if I liked it. And I put all my parts on it and I rode it for a couple of months. And I ended up selling the frame because I just didn't like it did stabilize it better. And there were some things about it that I liked, but I did not like that flickability was kind of like lost a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep going back to the analogy. Bikes are like shoes. You got to try them until you just slip into the one that fits the best.
Yeah.
Right. That is the thing that's hard about, the YouTube channel and people asking you like, hey, what's the better bike, this or this? And it's like you feel like a jerk telling people like, hey, man, you really just have to go out and try them. But that's really the truth. It's like if you don't sit on it, like you won't know if you like it.
And trails are so different. Rockville to Joaquin Miller to Santa Cruz to Tahoe, right? Like it's like so diverse of like what trails you're riding. And, some people might only ride the same trail over and over, might not have any kind of diversity. It's like you got to get on it. You got to get on the bike and give it a roll.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Jeffrey brings up a good point. The best bike is the one you got.
Yeah.
Panda didn't notice you two. He was just awestruck by this beast here. It's actually starting to get a little heavy on the stand. Tighten that up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm going to put the front wheel on and then I'm going to lower it down to the ground here because we're moving our way up. Up.
Turtlehead has a good point. The little O-ring on the fork matches the like the highlights of the bike. It's kind of cool.
Little O-ring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The MRP.
Did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could get this powder coated or MRP to do a custom thing.
Do a little red. That'd be awesome.
That's when you know you've made it, when you can get companies to send you custom little one-off parts.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Have you seen my subscriber numbers?
I'll tell you right now that those things, like what you just pointed out, are like my OCD nemesis. Like there's things that I would like to put on my bike. I'm like, nope, not the right color. I won't buy it.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know?
I know what you mean, man. It's funny.
I am so that way with things. It's like I think that's why I was such a good fit to go down and do the video with the stickered, because it's like I always want everything to match. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of stickered, I'm going to probably hit them up after this project is done, because this fork has seen some love. And I think I might customize it a little bit, although the black and white with the red RockShox logo doesn't look bad.
You know what else
We'll
they
see.
do too is they will they could make you a custom kind of wrap sticker for your fender there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So something
Hold that.
designed that maybe goes along with the bike and has your channel on it or something like that. That would be really cool.
Super cool.
Definitely. Yeah, they made the stickers that I've got right now, a little small batch just as a trial run to see how I like it. All right, that stem is definitely not tightened, but that's okay. Just needs to sit on there. After this video is done, I'm going to look up all the torque ratings for everything and torque it down.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Dude, Justin, thank you, man. It's always funny when I hear people say like, "Oh, I just watched Redemption 17 for the first time." Like people go back and like they jump in, they watch them over and over. It's awesome. Or watch them from start to finish. I might have broken up there.
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
did, but you're back now.
Son of a gun. But yeah, it's
It's
awesome
okay.
to hear people watch Redemption 17 like from start to finish after it's been, not a year yet, but it's pretty cool.
It's interesting
Definitely.
since we did that collaboration, and obviously I'm getting a bunch of new subscribers from that. And it's funny because I can see them like essentially binge watching my entire channel,
Yeah.
because it's like I'm
You get
watching
comments.
start from the original like channel intro video,
Yeah.
and up and up and up.
It's so
really
cool, man. It's a daunting task, but a couple of guys have done it on my channel where they drop in for the first video and they comment on every single one, and like months later then you finally see them catch up, and it's like so funny.
They want
That's
like
crazy.
the little achievement.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many little nuggets in every video. It's like a soap opera where it's like I take it all for granted and I try not to repeat myself because I feel like everybody's kind of watching, but there's so many bits and pieces of this whole journey of all this goofy stuff. I love it.
I think that's what made Jeopardy so much fun.
Yeah.
It was like, what were the little things? And I was thinking about that, and I was like, originally I was thinking to myself that, I want to do Downingville again this year. And I was like, oh man, I should do like Wheel of Fortune or something like that. And then I started thinking about it again, and I was like, you know what? I should just make the Jeopardy is like, that's the staple, and like just new questions and new categories. And I think it was really fun. We had a really good time doing it.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It was actually one of my hardest edits too.
Oh, no
thought
doubt,
that
man.
was going to be the easiest one, because I thought it was going to be just take that and take that 40-minute video and basically just post it. And instead it was like to change the zooms in and out so that it would have a little bit more like visual stimulation, or like to make all the little title screens for every time somebody said something that you couldn't really make out. Like it just took forever to do that edit.
Full production.
Yeah. Thank God I had a good cameraman.
Only the best.
Nice. All right, so I think I'm going to do the dropper next, because I'm just going to work my way in and out.
Somebody's asking where the BKXC.
Yeah, it's
fridge.
like
There's one right here.
Where is
And then I also
there it is. Yeah.
I also have this one that we
You've
have
been
a
threatening to
running
burn.
joke on my channel about whether or not I'm gonna burn it. So
Why is that? Why would you burn it?
just because it's why would you burn it? Like everybody wants that sticker so bad.
It's like putting
Oh, it's like
just a
it's like the Xbox on opening night or something like that.
All right. Right. Go buy the
Just troll
Xbox
people.
and set it on fire.
Yeah.
He's just that kind of guy.
Nice.
I can't bring myself to do it yet, but we'll see. I haven't stuck it on anything yet either.
Jeffrey, I do not use motion. I do not. I don't do any like motion graphics or any kind of other things.
I don't yet.
Yeah, I'd love to, but oh man, that's a rabbit hole.
Somebody's
You
talking
know-
about going back and watching Seth's old videos, and I'll tell you, when I first got into his channel, I went back, and it wasn't too far back at that time, but it was definitely interesting. Actually, let me back up. When I was doing the questions for the Jeopardy, I was looking at some of his old videos again, and going back and watching them now compared to his production, what he does now, it was like, whoa, man. He was like just like anybody else out there that has 20 subscribers. Like, he didn't have it down, and he like was kind of just making it up as he went. And you know, it's interesting to see that hey, he wasn't always as polished as he is.
The greatest thing is going to any big YouTuber and sorting the videos oldest to newest, and it's always a pain in the ass. Like PewDiePie, his first 50 videos he like hid or deleted, so you can't see him. But it's like that is where everyone should have their focus and their imagination and like, oh wow, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I think I broke up again. No.
No, you're good. And that's kind of why, like, you know, the whole cell phone videos that I'm doing.
Yes.
You know, showing people that there's an evolution. You can start a YouTube channel with literally just a cell phone. So
Going on
hopefully.
here. Stream went offline.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold up.
My Chrome blue.
There we go. Wait. Is it back?
Oh,
I'm still
like
seeing
it's back.
it. Yeah, we're back. Yep.
Oh, wait.
Oh, now I see it's offline again.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. I think we're back. We back.
Freaking Savant is the one that screwed you over, man. He just said, this is officially the benchmark for quality in YouTube live streams. Awesome job, guys.
Stop
And then it
jinxing
goes
me.
offline.
I tip my hat to you.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we've already had a good run. Even if everything caught on fire right now, I think it's been a good run.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that, cell phones you can start a YouTube channel with. I'm making a series on it because, yes, start simple and grow.
Tell that story. Tell a friggin' story.
Exactly. This you can all they are tools. Yep. This is a tool. Everything is just a tool, and you can start with the most basic stuff. Anyways, with that, I'm going to get back to the bike because apparently I'm on a time crunch. All right. All right, let's get some parts over here, which I'm trying to decide where I want to go next because I was going to do the dropper, and yeah, I think I will keep on carrying on with the dropper. So as I said, P&W Components sent me this dropper. It is the Rainier, and I have been very impressed with it. And the reason why I went with this one particularly, and I think it was, if he's still in the chat. I'm trying to remember which one it was that told me about it. I think it was Nate Palmer. Nate Palmer, I think, was the one that recommended PMW, and I looked into them. And long story short, I've been very impressed with the robustness of this. I put it in a freezer for 2 hours and then operated it, and it still worked very slowly, but not so slowly that I would be overly concerned. Also, it was in a freezer. The reason why is because I've seen the reverbs just completely hork up. Brian, didn't one hork up for you too when it got a little cold?
It was slower, and I don't even remember how cold it was. It wasn't even a thought to me that it was cold enough at the time where it's like, oh wait, maybe that's why my dropper post is going slow. So yeah, it's happened, and I do not even recall where we were at riding, but it was way slower than normal, which is very, very silly for wherever I was. I was like, oh geez.
It wasn't taint punching like Alex's.
Semi-auto.
Yeah, I know Eric from No Front Brakes also had issues with his when he was in Pishka. So basically, as soon as it gets cold, those things just crap out on you.
I have had absolutely no problems with my reverb until just recently. That's part of the reason I took it into the shop. Just needed to be serviced, I guess, because it was dropping by like I'd sit on it and it'd go down like another inch or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip
So when I
this
took
guy
it in to
around.
get serviced, I also bought that little thumb button from Reverb as well, so I could have the one that's more like a derailleur button instead of the push button that came on my bike.
Dig it.
Yeah, they do make a conversion kit for it, but I kind of think of that as like it's an answer to a problem that shouldn't be there. But that's just
right.
Whoop.
And then they charge you for it. You're
Exactly.
like, oh, here, designed this wrong. Here's a fix. You get the bike.
Actually, it was a third-party company that I think designed it, the conversion kit, because they, the reverbs are awesome until they stop working, and then they're terrible.
I bought mine. Mine is a SRAM part.
Really? I thought it was.
There's a SRAM one, but there were a couple like that got rid of the fluid. There's a couple that did. There was a couple like upstarts that did it before SRAM came out with their version.
Yeah, because I think Wolf Tooth does that too.
Yeah.
They have one that changes it to mechanical or something like that.
Yeah, dehydrate or something.
Yeah.
Eric's saying he loves it until it doesn't work until it doesn't go up anymore.
Yep.
Well, everyone has that problem every now and then.
We'll get it older.
That's a zinger. Just let that one go, huh?
Yep. All right. Lower this down.
So I got these freaking fidget spinners the other day at the and I made them right. So everything is right in the world now.
That's
These things are ridiculously addicting. I can say that.
Yeah, I've never played. I played with one for like a second, but I bet I could get a little hooked on the old fidgeting. I'm always fidgeting about.
My desk at work is just full of little stuff that I'm always tinkering with, like bent up paper clips and.
Yeah.
All right. I had a cable around here.
Josh Balin says, "Hey, what's up?
What's up?" I feel so bad. I've been trying to watch the chat, but
you're good. Good.
I feel under pressure making sure that this.
Honestly, I forget about the chat at times whenever we get together on the cameras like this. You have to mentally tell yourself, that's right, there's other people here.
Yeah. My subscribers, the holy reason why I am on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Otherwise, it's just a bunch of vanity, right?
Yeah.
All right. I will not be using these white cabling for this bike, although I thought about it. What do you guys think? I don't know. Do you think I should go with black cabling or white cabling?
If there were some other white highlights, I think it would be cool. But I think on its own, it's the only white thing. Maybe if the pedals were white, maybe if some of the other parts on the frame were white. But
I don't know. I think it's that red, white, and blue look though too. So you could throw white grips on, but I had a pair of white on the mountain bike before, and it's just like they were never white; they were always brown.
Yeah, they start to turn a grimy yellow or something.
Well, it's like you have to clean them every ride, and like I've talked on my channel at least how meticulous I am about regularly cleaning my bike, and that's not very regular.
Cash says, "Do black for anarchism." I concur.
Yeah, I think the black will look cleaner.
Yeah.
Black like my soul.
Barely there. Yep.
Black like my soul. 2 sizes too small.
Yep. I have a saying that I try to live by. It's better to be pleasantly forgettable than painfully remembered. So, I agree. Yep.
Under the radar of life.
All right.
I just like the fact that you can get that stuff in different colors now, That's just really cool.
Back in the day, you had to get a spray can out and do all sorts of janky stuff to mess up your parts.
Right. So Brian, how did you find out about that company up here in Sacramento that spray paints bikes?
On Instagram. I think it was probably some kind of, suggested post or something like that. But I've been following, it's called Squid Bikes, and then on Instagram, the lady co-founder of the company, Emily Kachorek, she has awesome posts, like just super stylish, like her kits. She has kits, and then she does spray painted bikes, and super cool. And Robert's talking about, I was on the Sonia Looney podcast, like co-hosting the podcast, interviewing Emily on that, and it was super cool.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because I was like, oh wow, here we have somebody like that that's local, and I didn't even know about them.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, she makes cyclocross bikes and frames, and they're manufactured in Sacramento. Like, it's super cool. I just love the whole style of it. But it's funny because really the style is her designs, and like she only sells some bikes that are actually spray painted, because it's kind of like a do-it-yourself kind of kit. Like, hey, you spray paint it. It's like, oh, I have no artistic skill.
Right.
Yeah. And don't get me started on having to prime, prep, and do all the other stuff to get the frame ready, or the parts.
Yeah, I had a couple of frames powder coated, and that was a fun process, but I don't know anything about painting.
Yeah, anything I've ever tried to spray paint got too thick and got too funky.
Yeah.
There's no practice. It's practice, right? There's no practice. It's just never. You got to practice. It's like cooking. I can cook a couple things because I've done it 1,000 times. But if I branch out and try to entertain, it's like, ugh.
Right.
It's a freak show.
Indeed.
Yeah, I agree with you on the spray paint thing. Every time I hold a can of spray paint, I always question to myself how those freaking guys that do graffiti do it so well. Like, they have these beautiful lines and like feathering, and like, oh, it's just amazing.
It's amazing, like, yeah. When you see it,
I can do black, solid.
So when one of y'all come out here, I'm gonna have to show you some of the street art that we have here. It's absolutely amazing. There are some very talented people out there. There's actually a place, can't remember the name of it. Brian, I think I sent you the link, where it's like a whole abandoned park that just is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Random little tidbit. All right.
Yeah.
Back to bikes. So, I heard the topic of custom build come up. Would you guys ever do a custom build frame? Like, custom frame built just for you?
Oh, like you'd go to like some guy with a friggin' waxed mustache,
bespoke frame, whether it be a
coffee brand, and he measures you out.
Whether it be bespoke steel or like going to, so there's a company. Oh my gosh, I can't forget it. I can't believe I forgot his name. But he basically he created a fat bike times trial bike. He like modified a Trek carbon frame, cyclocarbon I think it's the name, and he got internet famous for a while. But like, he will literally slice apart any type of carbon frame within reason and put it back together the way you want. So,
whoa, interesting.
So like, with the question being a little bit more open, would you do a bespoke bike? I know the cost is there, but you think it'd be worth it to you? No,
it doesn't. I like custom and stuff, but I'm not too crazy. It's like, hey, I've got a blue RAV4. It's fine. I don't care buying out of the box. Like, I know custom is something that really tickles people's fancy, and like it doesn't really get me going that much. That it's like, oh, this is my bike and it was built perfectly. If you had the money, maybe, because then all of a sudden you feel it and you're like, oh, it's so much different.
I mean, I like my bike to look individual. That's why I like the stickers, or even like why I've painted mine or had them powder coated in the past. And like, but I don't necessarily feel like I give a shit about the frame being specifically built for my body. Like, I feel like it's doing it just fine right now,
I feel the exact same way, and I fear the day when I feel a bike that is like built for me, and it's like, oh, you can't ever go back.
Yep.
Right?
This is the new standard. All right. Just figured I'd ask. Curiosities.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You're going to fit in there, aren't you? Oh, you bugger.
how's the 29er down there like for your trail types? Is that a good bike for your trail types down there? Or?
Yes, because I have a buddy that just switched from a full rigid Karate Monkey 29er to a big Hanzo, which is a 27 plus hardtail, and he's like 50 something. He's like OG.
Nice.
Or no, I don't think he's in his 50s. I think he's like he's older than me. He's got way
like
more
35.
life experience than me. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a little bit of pepper in his beard and everything like that. I don't know. Jason will probably walk into the office tomorrow and just punch me in my face. But anyways, for the most of the trails, yeah, totally. You can get away with 29er. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm building this bike up the way I am, because there are really nice flow trails, and then there's the really chunky stuff, and I want to be able to amuse myself in any way I deem appropriate. So
I have
having a little
this
bit of
theory
flexibility
about 29ers, and see what you guys think about it. I think that as the 29ers, like their geometries and stuff are getting better, and you're seeing them now with the long travels and stuff like that, at the end of the day, that 29er wheel will make your features easier, right? So then what will happen in my eyes is that people will make the trails chunkier and chunkier to make that difficult again. So
I think we're already seeing that happening, honestly.
Does it make the trails get to a point where the 26 won't even be able to roll on them, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, skill set is always something that you have to take into account for. Although, we're already seeing that now with just the long travel bikes. So you have like these crazy 27s. Yeah. So
I mean, because
you get a lot of bike these days.
I mean, when I rode that 27, I mean, put it this way, like the way that the trails were when I started riding in the 90s compared to the way that they are now because of the full suspension bikes that we have, like the shit that we're riding on, we wouldn't have even thought about riding our bike on back then, It would have been like, no, why would you do that? That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it is kind of an escalate. It's an arms race, basically. Every time a bigger, badder bike comes out, bigger, badder features and crazier riders come out.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
breaking bumps.
Some of the stuff you see those guys doing at like Rampage and stuff like that, it just like blows your mind.
Oh my gosh. That's like watching people fail to commit suicide.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah. Timothy, my bike shed is coming along. It's not finished. I need to actually do some more videos about the Nugatorium and kind of tell that story a little more. I've just been editing videos so much that I've just been locked in traveling, editing videos. Like I need to actually set aside some time and do some more Nugatorium. But nothing has really gone on, so it's still there. It's still unfinished.
When do you think you're going to call it finished? Like, in your mind's eye, when
I've got my tools up on the wall and I actually go in there and work, like that's when I start working from there, like when I'm editing my videos in that, and that's like my office and like all this mess in my house is just gone. That's when it will be finished.
I can dig that.
Nothing's ever finished. Nothing's ever really finished. I know what you're trying to get at there, but it's...
Yeah. I'm totally going to have to take some slack out of this. Let's see.
No, it's fine. That's fine.
No, that's totally fine. What seems to be a problem?
This looks good. I'm like I got into the conversation. I'm not even thinking about like cable length and everything. I'm pretty sure people watching this are going to just laugh at me.
Zip tie it up, man.
Yep.
Just wrap it in a little circle. It'll be good.
Yep. Which actually, I'm going to laugh if I don't have my zip ties out. That would be a terrible reason to end the live stream, is that I don't have my zip ties handy and I have no idea where they are.
Man, it's so funny. people throw me for a loop when they say cable ties instead of zip ties. It's like
Yeah,
the
there's
weirdest
zip
thing. Like I can't understand what they're trying to say. Like, oh, you get the cable ties. It's like tie down, the ratcheting.
Yep. I may have actually. That is embarrassing.
I think we're
That is hysterical. I may have actually forgot to pick up zip ties.
it's just yeah, little hiccup. It's down, it's up, it's down. Oh yeah, it's down. Oh no, it's back.
No, it's coming back. Give it a second.
Good. Just a little hiccup. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it should be up now.
It's fine.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
It's been really has been pretty amazing. So we're
All
good.
things considered. All things considered. Hey, I'm gonna run out to the garage real quick, guys.
Do it.
You guys have the helm.
So Steven is asking me and Brian what our favorite trail in Auburn is, and I don't know if Brian's ridden there enough to have a favorite, and I'll let him speak to that while I sit here and actually try to figure out what mine is.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done the Forest Hill Divide loop, like the big loop, a few times, and that's awesome. But like that, Robert's actually talked about this. I rode the Bronson on the demo day on that connector trail or whatever, and I just felt like the bike was like the best bike I ever rode. So it was like super confident on loose stuff, and it was just a total game changer for me.
I think for me that is such a hard question because I've ridden Auburn like so many times. Like I've ridden Auburn, like connector is probably when I first rode it was probably one of the best trails that I've ever ridden when I first rode it, you know, and I've ridden it so many times now that it's like, it's like walking to your bathroom in the dark.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I would say if I had to choose a favorite trail right now, I think it would be one of some things that I've been messing around in the OHV park. You know, it's just like, because it's new and it's like it's a challenge and
I actually did a couple of those random trails. It was cool.
Yeah, there's that I think there's a short section called the Rocky Trail or something. You guys actually did go down. It was after you came out of the Stonewall Trail.
Yeah, and, okay.
It's just like, and that section of trail is probably only, man, if it's a half mile long, I'd be surprised. And that section is probably one of my favorite sections right now because it's just like so chunky where you're like, you have to be on your A game, have your speed fast enough. And I almost did the entire trail the last time without messing up. I literally freaking got like, my balls got too small in like the last 10 and got hung up on this little drop. And I was literally like 10 feet from the end of the trail. So that one kind of has my name on it right now. Yeah. I just can't wait to get back and just like blast that thing.
Oh. Yeah. Auburn's great. I need to get back to Auburn. I need some more miles out there.
Good pay to play place. You know, you put in the big climbs, but you get these super fun descents. And I think that's the thing that made that, you know, my favorite place locally to ride for a long time is just because, you know, even though I like bitching about climbing, I do, you know, enjoy the out of it, you know, that's the part of, you know, I wouldn't mind, you know, getting a shuttle here and there, but sometimes people will be like, oh, well, we could climb that or we could do a shuttle. And normally I'm like, dude, I'd rather climb it because like I want to get that. I need to burn those extra calories.
Yeah,
otherwise
the full day's ride.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
How about you for your local? What's your local favorite for you?
Man, that trail, Benicia territory that I've been on a few times. It's just that, you know, that drone shot in the green field of me coming down like that. That thing is just awesome. It's just such a friggin' cool thing. I did my Patreon ride on that trail. That's where where the dog popped out. If you guys have watched that video, but it's just a neat, like pretty hard trail. Like I actually need to go out there with a machete and cut it down now that I'm home because the last couple times I've ridden it, it's just like, you know, nobody rides it, so it's like you're really in there.
Oh.
Oh, we got a guest.
Oh, Rocco.
Got the
I think these will do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do. Thanks, Kristen. My girlfriend literally has saved my ass like 3 or 4 times today.
That's what they're for.
Yes. Always
partners.
say I love you because they put up with a lot of crap.
Yeah.
So what I missed, guys? Sorry.
We were just
Wow.
talking about our favorite local trail. So
Action.
he was saying that he had the one that you seen him do his drone stuff on was his favorite spot. I was talking about Auburn, and I guess now you can tell us what your favorite spot is locally.
Yeah.
So I think my favorite spot right now is let me get this back on my face. My favorite spot right now has to be the South Austin Trails, which isn't really a trail, but I will get more specific. There is Violet Crown Trail that leads into Sweet 16, and it is a perfect blend of this just rocky descent with switchbacks, and then it goes into this really chunky, with like drops and everything, trail that goes under Mopac. And there's like this street art graffiti that's there hidden away.
Oh,
There's
cool.
all these hidden gems. And then you can keep riding and it'll take you to the Greenbelt. And that's my favorite trail just because it's raw, it's natural. It's one of those trails that you have to ride with a local to understand how to get there. It's pretty well marked as far as like trail forks. So you can find it online, but the fact remains is that it's just one of those ones you're not going to find unless you go looking for it.
Right on.
So
Cool.
turn on this fan.
You know, it's funny too is I was talking to somebody recently, and we were talking about, you know, like, hey, what's your favorite trail? And we were actually, and what I had said to them though is, you know, it's funny is I actually have some like favorite sections where it's like this 100-yard section of this one part of this trail.
Find that
It's
flow.
like every time I'm coming to it, I'm like stoked for it, you know?
That's the crazy thing about that section of trail that I was talking about is like, it's not that big. It's not that long, which gets my mind going so much about building bootleg trails and going out and digging and building stuff, because it's like, it's so special. It's so full on. It's so awesome. But if you measured it out, it would not be more than a couple 100 yards or whatever, but it's amazing.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really, you know, I think that I don't know what has to happen for like trails to be able to be built so that they're sustainable and they're not like just wrecking the environment, but also so that they can actually be built. It seems like in California, and I don't know how Texas is, it is just such a logistical nightmare to do anything.
Same here.
You know, so
it's sticky. It's a sticky situation for sure. There's tons of parkland. There's tons of, the red-legged frogs that will get killed by people being on the trail, and it's very the couple of, Sedona, Arizona supposedly is the hallmark. They just built a shitload of bootleg trails, and then they asked for forgiveness later, and they actually made them all legit. So it's kind of funny that's kind of the way you've got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, a lot of the trails that are well known were at one point bandit trails. People just went out there with shovels. Now, I'm not saying like that's the way you can do it now. As you said, there's a lot of logistics out there. You got to be careful.
Well, and then also, I mean, but even though, like, knowing as well, like, if you ride anywhere for a long time, like, you do know the difference between a sustainable trail. Like, you've seen it happen. You know what I mean? Because if the trail wasn't built well and with the, like, sustainability in mind, it'll be like a eroded mess, or like it'll be all fucked up. You can't even ride it in a couple of years.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So
and that's like some of the crazy SoCal trails are really like just blown out, but they're still rideable and they're still goofy. And I don't know where I side on that. I think I'm starting to side on more on the rule breaker side, and like we can wait around for so long for this to happen, or you can just do it and see what happens. But you can't cry when they shut down the trails, or you get a ticket, or you get a felony conviction or something.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would wonder. I mean, what would be the punishment? You know, like could you be a felony? You know, like
It definitely
destruction of
depends.
property
I
and
think if you're like caught actually building, that's probably the versus just riding a trail where you're like, oh, I was lost. Oh, my buddy said
yeah,
this was
right.
okay. Like, because
Kind of like
there's
what we say whenever we're night riding in places that
yeah,
aren't allowed to have night riding. You're just like, oh, I had a mechanical, and I always bring my light just in case.
yeah,
You know.
totally, totally. It's so funny when you think about it, how silly the whole argument is. Like building new trails, it is sensitive. I definitely get that. But just like out that we're just out riding our bikes, having fun. Like how stupid is it that it's actually controversial and like it's scary to people. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was
I don't understand too, like why these groups hate each other so much.
yeah,
It's like, why do the equestrians hate the freaking bikers? But you know, it's like, it's just amazing to me that everybody doesn't just look at it like, hey, we're all trying to go outside and enjoy nature. How do we
it's
do that
tough.
together?
You come
You know?
around you come around one corner fast because we want to ride fast. That's the deal. And we're not crazy racers or anything. Hopefully we're in control when we're riding, but it is about the thrill. And so you come around a corner and there's a horse there or a person, they get scared and just
Yeah.
it's no fun. Even if it's just the perception, like, oh my God, you were about to hit me. I've scared plenty of people where it was not going to be an issue at all, but that's their feeling. They feel it. It's real. And it's
Yeah.
tough.
Where you're like, I'm totally in control. You're not anywhere close to me. You're freaking out on your own.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
It was funny. There was a post on, because trails in the wilderness access for bikes is something I care about, but I haven't really talked about yet on my channel. But there was a post that showed like, should bikes be allowed in the wilderness? And it had a total downhill racer with pajamas on and full face helmet, coming around just jumping kind of thing. And then this other guy, Jeff, who's a very good advocate for local trails and stuff, posted a picture of a racehorse. So it's the same thing. It's like you don't have a racehorse in the wilderness and a jockey on a racehorse. It's that same argument. We're out in the wilderness. We're just having fun. Yeah, I can talk about it forever.
Yeah. I had a bit of a proud moment. One of the trails, it's funny. People have commented on my videos and said like, oh, you took your girlfriend on these super advanced courses. And I kind of look at them, I was like, no, actually, the footage of her on the trails, those are our easy going, beginner trails because it's really super technical out here. It's really ridiculous. And so, she was out walking Rocco, who just came in, and she found this trail in that area, that area that we started riding on. And she texts me. She's like, why aren't bikes allowed back here? This is ridiculous. And I'm like, my girlfriend is getting mad about trail access.
That's great.
Hey,
She's drank all the potion.
she has. Oh my gosh, my hands look all weird. All right, so we had a few clusters. How you guys doing on time, Brian, Robert? You guys have anywhere you need to be?
6 o'clock, I will bounce out for sure.
6 o'clock. What time is it now?
5:50. We got about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll get as far as we can. You can bounce out, Robert. You can hang out if you want.
I'm all right hanging out.
All right. Cool. How's the chat doing? I feel like I've really been ignoring people running around with my hair on fire.
That's the thing, man. When you're working on something, that's like all my live streams where I'm working on something. They just get so sidetracked with the chat, but it's good. I like hanging out and doing it. But that's why you gotta set aside about 6 hours to be able to do something.
Yep. Well, yeah, we'll get as far as we can.
What's up, JT? I rode with that guy in Whistler. Young fan of the channel.
JT, where am I seeing that? I'm not seeing that.
JT,
Oh,
JT Areza.
I got it now. Right on. You said you rode with him in Whistler?
Yeah.
How long does it take to drive to Whistler from where you live?
Probably, so it's like, what, 12 hours to Seattle? And then another couple hours to Yeah, maybe 16 hours, I'd say.
So do you do it in one day, or do you usually stop?
No, I stopped in like Bellingham and slept, I think. I'm trying to think because I picked up Seth at the airport in Seattle, and then so I think I slept in Seattle. No, it was when I did it, it was the eclipse. So it was like everyone was heading that direction basically, and so I stopped at some random town like like maybe an hour south of Seattle, and then I picked Seth up at the airport, and then we drove from Whistler from there. So it was broken up into a couple days. But yeah, let's see what the driving directions say. From home to Whistler, BC, 16 hours and 20 minutes.
So, I was
Yeah.
thinking about doing that next summer, driving up there.
But all along the way, there's all like Ashland, there's Portland, there's Bellingham, like there's all kinds of stuff all along the way that's worth riding.
Yeah. I've been in Portland a bunch of times and went up to Seattle last year or earlier this year. I can't remember. That was pretty fun. Cool cities.
Definitely.
I think Portland's probably one of my favorite cities in the U.S. I just like the architecture there, and the people are really cool. They have good beer, and for some reason, I just really like that city.
Yeah, super cool.
What do you think, out of the places that you've ridden in Oregon, would you plan a trip? If you were planning a trip, would you go to Oregon and ride some of those places, or make the extra effort to go to Whistler?
Oh, there's so much more in Oregon that I haven't seen. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When I think of Oregon, I think of Bend, and I haven't really ridden Bend. And there's Ashland. There's so much more. I like being a little closer. It's nice to be close. But Whistler's really cool. It's always going to be probably a yearly destination for me.
So if you were gonna, we'll play this game then. If it's Whistler or Moab, which one would you go to?
Ah, man, that's such a good question. If I only had the choice, if Whistler was running perfect, then Whistler, because there's Top of the World, there's like the new Valley of the Grizzlies, there's like the Lord of the Squirrels, there's like a bunch of stuff that I haven't done yet, and Squamish. So yeah, if the conditions are good, then I'd say Whistler. And then the park is really
just
cool.
because you like the terrain there better?
Everything there is it's just very much magical. It's like a Disneyland for sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and even the dollar is pretty, good there versus the Canadian dollar, and everything was very reasonable. I thought for being in this, if you go to North Star in the winter, if you go to Heavenly, any of these Lake Tahoe ski resorts in the winter, you're gonna pay out the ass for every single second you're there, for a bottled water, for a bag of potato chips, like a lift ticket. But in Whistler, I didn't feel like it was nickel and dimed. It felt like I was getting a deal. Like I was like, oh, okay, the Canadian dollar, I'm getting 30% off of this. This seems actually reasonable. The hotel room seemed reasonable. Everything seemed totally reasonable to me. So I just didn't feel like I was getting taken advantage of, like when you go to these places in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. No, I hear you there.
I've made an executive decision. I'm not going to adjust the dropper cable until later.
Yeah.
I'm going to futz with that like half the night, and I think I've already bored some people to death.
Yeah.
You got stuck on it.
Yes, I did. My OCD would not let it go.
We got two angles of butt cam right now. We got the butt cam on the top left, and we got the butt cam on the bottom.
Nice.
Nice, he says about his own ass.
Hey, you got to be proud.
Yeah. If you're not proud, who will be?
Indeed. All right, get this seat tightened down. Which, by the way,
Go for it.
this is a Chromag saddle, and
nice.
got it from Single Track Sampler's little deal that he had with Adventure
on Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah. So pick this guy up specifically for this build. It's a leather saddle. This is probably the most luxurious item that I've ever bought for a bike, but it just looks so BA that I decided to go for it.
That's great.
How many people watching? 72.
Yeah.
Awesome. Still holding them on even with all my sporadic running around. Oh shit!
Yeah, I think we dropped some earlier whenever it went offline, and we never really. A lot of those people.
Yeah. We broke the trust. We broke the circle of trust.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
It happens.
What do you guys think the best thing is that like upgrade or whatever that you've done to your bike, or when you got a bike that had that over the years?
I mean, I gotta say, the first thing that was the biggest upgrade for me was pedals, because I was just running regular flats on my cheapo bike, and then getting proper pins was a big deal for me. And then after that, dropper post. It's kind of a
The first
cliche,
thing
but
comes to mind for me is when I first got a really good set of brakes, I didn't realize how bad my braking was. Like
Yeah.
how good braking is. Like I remember like pulling my brakes and almost going over the bars several times through that ride because I was so not used to how good they were.
Yeah.
nice.
For me, it's the
Yeah,
wolf
that's happened to
tooth
me a couple
grips,
times.
man. I love the fat paw grips. Like when I ride other bikes, I just feel like I'm getting beaten to hell.
Right on.
I like having that squish.
I think that the dropper would come up in second for me then too, because, and honestly, it's funny that I say that because I was a dropper hater for and when I finally started using it, and once I got, I mean, at this point now, I want my seat to like basically disappear when I'm going downhill.
Get away. Yeah, totally.
Yep. that was a big thing for me. I got bucked so many times on my hardtail that when I finally got a dropper post, I was like, wow, this is how life should be.
So I've been riding my CX bike, gravel bike, whatever you want to call it, and I because I've been doing some rides with a buddy and his wife that's just getting it. She's just starting riding, so we've been going to these places that's really tame, and so I could do that with my CX bike.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I try to push that fucking button to drop my and that like doesn't have one. It's like I'm
That's
constantly
classic.
doing it. Like I like smashed my jewels like 100 times. Like it's just funny like how used to it you get.
Definitely. It is always
There we
weird
go.
hopping on the road bike. When you hop on the road bike after riding mountain bike and like just like, whoa, this is like such an interesting, weird, like just a different experience.
Yeah, it just feels totally different.
Yeah.
I know when I like they do a thing out here called May is Bike Month. I don't know if they do that back where you're from, Joseph. But it's like
No, can't say I'm familiar.
they try to like promote people to commute to work or whatever and ride as much bike, and they'll have like these little like competitions or like see how many miles your office can ride kind of thing. And the one year I did like 700 miles, and so I was like commuting a lot and then like trying to ride as many rides as I could, and I wasn't riding a lot of mountain bike because I couldn't get a lot of miles, right?
Yeah.
So but I remember when I got back on my mountain bike, it just like felt like I was like standing with my, like Leonardo DiCaprio, my arms across the, like everything just felt so weird. And it was like the bike was squishy. It was like, this just doesn't feel like a bike.
Yeah. Totally. That's
Monster
great.
Vlogger, thanks for showing up, man. Oh, God.
Why is it that not everything seems to be coming? Do they all come up there in the little pop-up chat?
They drop off.
They
kinda
should,
quick.
but yeah, I have it set to like 15 seconds. I really should have set it for longer, so I apologize for that. But
All right, guys, the witching hour has hit. It's 6 o'clock. I've had a good time hanging out and watching this bike get built, but I'm going to take off.
Thanks
on,
for.
Brian.
Go ahead, Biker.
I was just gonna say the same thing as you. And it was as usual fun chatting with you, and hopefully your fantasy team does well.
I think I'm making it to the championship game. I think it's a foregone conclusion.
Nice. Well, thanks again, Brian. Really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that you have a lot of stuff in the hopper you still need to get out before you go to your next adventure. So looking forward to seeing where that takes you.
Cool, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
Right on.
I'll let you switch off the camera before I hang up.
All right. I appreciate that. Just need to figure out which one you are. There we go. All right. Have a good night.
Later, guys.
See ya.
All right.
All right. Now we got rid of him. The party can get started.
All right. I actually don't need to fix it. Cool. I was worried I was going to have to fix it. Awesome.
Right.
All right. So next up, the brakes. Like I said, the dropper, it functions, it works. The cable I'm just going to leave loose. I'm going to organize that at a later date. Tonight is, oh, okay. So now it's figured out how to punch in. So we'll kind of fix, let's see. Let me fix you real quick. Maybe.
On the live stream, I'm still in the window.
Yeah, you're just kind of awkwardly framed, but we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Sweet new Hardtail, man. Thanks, man. I'm really excited. MLC, thanks for showing up, man.
You got
Burning my BXC.
Fridge too.
Yeah, I mean, technically you're framed. Well, actually, no. You're terribly framed for rules of thirds. But whatever.
Let's see if I can do this. I got to move everything backwards. Let's see. This way.
Yep. All right, we're going to put that on. Let's see. This is probably going to come down.
You need to move that way.
Yep. Bring this in.
Son of a bitch. I feel like I have two cameras now. I get to see what's in my fridge.
No one else can see what's in your fridge.
No, I'm watching the stream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can see it up in because it's got like my refrigerator up in the corner where Ryan used to be, and
Nice.
then it has me down where I've been all night. So
Yep. Here, let me do something here real quick. I'm
we
just
don't
going
know
to.
what's in the fridge. Man, friggin' cleaned up with the super chats tonight, dude.
Yeah, I did. Thanks to everyone who did that. That was really awesome. Get rid of that. I'm just gonna
So
reset.
who has the high bid right now? I think it was Jordan with the $21.01. Oh, it's
Yep,
all biker
just...
all day. What's up, YouTube?
Oh, man, what happened? I think I'm gonna have to go back to this for a second. All right, we'll do this.
All right. Log one meet test time.
Move that there. Bring that up. Bring this up. Bring that over. There we go. It'll be a little bit wonky because Brian left. I kept telling Brian, I was like, oh yeah, I'm super fast with my bike builds. It won't be that big of a deal. It'll probably, if anything, run out of content. and then it happened. I got my OCD.
It happens. Happens to all of us.
Yep.
You know, every time it's like, you know, with IT and bikes, it's like every time you think something's going to take this amount of time, you might as well just multiply it by like 5 because that's how long it really takes.
Exactly.
Whenever I'm doing some project at work, I'm always like, oh yeah, this will be real quick. I'll be home in like an hour. And my lady's like, yeah, we'll see you at like midnight then. So
yeah. All right. There we go. That's all set up. Let me get the brakes. All this nonsense. So how many
Mike Trails wants to know if you build a gaming PC just for your live streams.
No, because it's not really a gaming PC anymore. It's more of a content creation tool. I mean, I'm very particular about my hardware. So the answer is yes. I did build this up with the sole purpose of having an epic system to be able to do this stuff. But I also do a lot of hardcore editing with all this crazy 4K high resolution content with 10-bit color and all that nonsense geek talk.
So did you put any kind of frame protector stickers or anything like that on for cable rub, or are you one of those people that just is like, you know what, it's a bike, that's going to happen?
So for my carbon fiber I did, but with this hardtail, I thought about it, but then by the time like tonight rolled up, I really was like, you know what, the whole point of this thing is to get a nice little patina on it. So it will have a little bit of love put on it, but yeah, I used to be really like meticulous about it, and I don't bash anyone who is. You know, you invested a lot of money into your stuff. You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Right.
But that's just my opinion on it. What's your opinion?
You know, I, I want to use my bike to have fun on it, you know, and uh, I don't really get hung up in the like keeping it pristine, you know. I do. I will say, you know, like I had some accident recently where I scratched up the side of the frame of the Bronson at a spot that was kind of like predominantly you could see it, you know, and it did kind of bum me out a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking mountain bike. Oh, sorry, and
That's all
it's
right.
just I don't think you can do that to yourself, you know, or at least I can't. It just becomes too stressful to be that way, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I keep going on about. You know, tools not jewels. It was the best advice my buddy Paul ever gave me. You know, just ride the bike. Just get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely you know, you also don't want your stuff to look all janky or whatever too, you know. But for the most part, I think you know I take care of it as well as I can, but not definitely not cleaning it with Q-tips like Savant. So,
Nice.
did you see that video where he called me out like that? We were kind of going back and forth with each other.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I saw that. You know, early on when you guys first started to trade blows.
Yeah, yeah. When I first saw that video, it was freaking hilarious. I think I probably watched it like 5 or 6 times because I thought it was so funny.
Nice. Hang on, I'm gonna do something real quick. Boop, boop. Just fix some things real quick. Boom, boom. Let's see. Who else? Who else? Who else do I want to?
No Front Brake says he runs collar coordinated cable crimps, but doesn't care about the chain protector. I have color coordinated crimps as well. I'm also that guy. I'll admit it. I like things to match.
With making everything have purpose, that's the big thing for me. So sometimes if I have to choose function over form, I will. But if I could get both, it makes me very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I even would buy like freaking different colored zip ties if I wanted to. You know, like
Yeah. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna do it this way.
oh, it looks good.
Realized.
Right.
Well, I forgot to. I wasn't paying attention to the cable routing. There we go. That's how that do. There we go. Problem solved.
So the
That's
brake cable on that one actually goes along the top tube then. Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, and I just want to bring it over here. There we go. I'm gonna tighten
Because it
everything
looks
up
like the
from the
cable
back.
goes up. Your zips go up the rear triangle. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Interesting.
comes. There's one back here, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
one under here, and then it goes boop 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 boop, and then of course it's going to flip over and come around, uh,
Yeah.
like that. So there will be a little bit of cable rub. I'll probably put a little bit of helicopter tape right there just to make sure it doesn't peel off.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Thank God you were fixing the cable routing. Yeah, no, it would have caught me too. You know, usually I'm a lot faster at this, but doing it on a live stream when you're talking, you know, it's like hanging out with your buds. You bring your buds over to help you make a project go faster, and then you end up sitting in the garage drinking beer, talking about stuff.
Talking about doing it instead of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. But I definitely appreciate everyone hanging out here. All right, but that's enough. That's enough talking. So, what's on the holiday Christmas wish list for everyone out there? You hoping to get any bike parts, get a new bike and accessories?
My wish list is brakes right now. I'm just waiting for those brakes to come out. Shimano says on their website that they're coming out in December, and it's December, and I have not seen them yet.
Oh,
So
the what was
the
it?
four piston XTs.
Yeah,
So the 8,000, I think they're the 8020s is what they are.
something like
So
that.
yeah, So originally I was actually was going to get some Saints, and then those were coming out, and I had ridden, I had XTs on my Prophet, and they worked really well for me. So I was like, maybe I don't really need to spend the extra money for the Saints, but and let's see how these are with the prices, at least when they come out. And now I'm getting tired of waiting.
Yeah, I will say this: the bike industry is a lot more relaxed about soft launches than the computer industry is. When there's a soft launch or paper launch, it's out, but you can't buy it anywhere. That will usually result in a riot, whereas us bikers are usually out enjoying our bikes to pay attention to release dates.
Right. I think for me, it's just like, the thing it's like, I want to fix the problem of the chipmunks. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of the chipmunks. So it's like, I'm really waiting for that. But I mean, I had a little early Christmas for myself because there were some things that I just needed. So I picked up a new seat. Here I got a WTB Rocket. So my
Nice.
old seat is like 11 years old. So it's about due to be replaced. It was also a WTB seat, so I felt like they did well with that. So I'm going to give them another swing at it again, right? And then this has chromoly rails on it, and my other one had titanium ones. So I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, you're saying the new one has chrome or steel, and then the old one had titanium?
Yeah, the old one was titanium rails, and this one is chromoly.
Nice. Let's see. So Robert, 2Z, Mountain Z, check out
Maguras.
MC5s,
Yeah, I
MT7s.
actually sent Magura an email trying to get some free products out of them, and they never responded.
Nice.
I thought maybe because I had a German last name, they would be all right with it, but no.
I think they saw through you. They saw through your game.
They were like, this guy just started that YouTube channel so he get free bike parts.
Yeah, that's exactly why I did it too.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with anything else.
Nope. I don't.
Magura's a bigger brand in Europe too. They're a lot more well known over there. But I've heard people talk about them being really good brakes. And a lot of people that recommended the Saints also recommended the Z's. They said the Z's are a little bit cheaper, but just as good as the Saints. So I'm curious to why, like, how the XTs turn out.
So am I. I mean, they're probably using the same pistons and or not. Well, they are using the same pistons. It's now that they just have double the amount. But whenever they add a new line on the drawing board, you never know what's going to actually happen there. Why did my bike just move?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Well, and it's weird too because it's like, well, okay, they have these Z's that are just, a little bit cheaper than the 4-piston Saints, and they're going to have 4-piston XTs. So what is, like, how many products do you have to have that are the same? You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, like they already have a, kind of a monopoly on the market. So I guess they're just trying to keep it. Adding more options for the people who want it.
Yeah, and I had XTs on my other bike, and I agree with you completely. I do like the XTs over the SRAM. So some people talk about the modulation is different with the SRAMs, that they like them better. I personally don't really notice a big difference on it, at least in a way that matters to me. But what I will say between the two of them, the Bronson's the first time I've had a SRAM drivetrain as far as the shifting and the derailleur, and that I will say SRAM definitely has nailed compared to Shimano, I think. What's your take, Joe?
Sorry, I was. Oh, the drivetrain. Yeah, I think on Obviously, the Eagle is like insane right now, but for me, I prefer Shimano for their drivetrains. Or not Shimano, SRAM.
Yeah.
Shimano is great and it's bulletproof. There's a reason why I'm going with it here. Also because people voted on it on one of the live streams. But for me, I also have SRAM drivetrains on my road bike, and it's super crisp. And I think that the machining that they put into their higher end cassettes is amazing. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
So-
I definitely I can say that the I would have changed like my cables by now on my Shimano stuff. Like as much work that I've put into this like riding in with the SRAM that I have right now, it just seems like it still shifts like perfectly. It like never really messes up, where my Shimano stuff was just like it seemed like I was always tinkering with it, you know?
Yeah. And
I
I
definitely-
apologize.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, I apologize for the bad camera angle here. I realize you can't really see what I'm doing, but we're installing brakes. It's not overly interesting.
Not overly interesting.
Yeah.
I do
so
have
with that-
Shimano XT, or I'm sorry, the electronic shifting on my gravel bike, and
Yeah, how do you like that?
it's fucking awesome as long as you remember to charge the damn thing.
It's so weird, right? You're not used to having like buttons on your drivetrain and batteries and all sorts of weird
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You know, honestly, that drivetrain, like, it only needs to be charged like once every 6 months or something like that. It's just that the last time I rode it was a couple of months ago, and I hadn't even thought about like whether or not I needed to charge the battery. You know, and I got out to the trail, and basically I ended up with a single speed.
Nice.
Yeah,
Not
but
looking
it worked
good
out.
on there.
Somebody's asking me if I have XO1, XX1, or the GX Eagle. I don't know SRAM's like lines. Like I don't know what their like what the order is. I have the top of the line one, the one that has the 52 Eagle. That's freaking like $400 a cassette, and I have that because that's what was on the bike when I got it. But I am telling you that I will buy GX Eagle whenever I need to replace it, which is probably soon. I've knocked a few teeth off of my chainring and my cassette at this point, so the time is coming that I end up having to swap that out. Senor Robbie, what's up?
MTB dropping. Thanks for dropping back in.
Right on.
I'm trying not to strip out some screws. How's your night going, man?
Strippers and screws, all in one sentence. This could go anywhere. Monster Blogster is on.
Nice. Appreciate all the familiar faces coming out to say hi. Why is that? I'm not liking this.
Something
It's
doesn't
like-
feel right when you're typing it up
Yeah,
there.
I'm threading it in by hand, and it just doesn't feel right.
Does
the
the screw have like a little bit of Loctite on it already, where it's just going to be
It
tight?
does, and I'm worried that thread back there is already kind of gummed up. So, but I do not want to strip out my fork here. So I'm going to try to see if I can't clear out some of that old Loctite, just because.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to strip that out. That's
No.
a real.
We've already had a few close calls tonight. Don't need
Yeah.
another one.
So how much travel is on the fork that you have on there?
150 millimeters.
Oh wow, so that's a pretty fair amount there, and then you're running the 29. So this thing should be pretty cush then, as for a hardtail.
Definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be a beast.
I mean, 150 millimeters of travel on a hardtail just sounds like that's a lot, you know?
Yeah, there's a reason why this is I keep calling it a hardcore hardtail. It is definitely going to be able to handle pretty much anything I throw at it. Which, with all the components that I'm putting on it, with all the craziness that I plan on putting it through, it's going to be well warranted. What the crap?
Ivan's asking if I've ever ridden the trails in Austin, and the answer is no, I haven't, but I will soon.
Yeah, you will.
The goal of my channel is to one of the goals is to start to make some revenue off of the channel enough that I do have the option to travel and go to like meet other suds and stuff. And the first place that I want to go is to Austin so that I can meet Joe here from Trail Features and Eric from No Front Brakes are both in that area. So that will be actually my first YouTube paid for and sponsored trip. Hopefully it comes sooner than later.
Just trying
So do
to
you guys
clean
have a
out.
pretty much a all year season for where you're at? I would assume. I mean, with the
You know,
snow
it's
the other
funny.
day, I would have never thought it snowed there. So
It's funny. It's kind of an inverted season for us. I have the box right over my head. Let me fix that. For us, it's the winter time that's the real peak riding season because it gets so freaking hot here in the summertime. There we go. That's better.
how hot does it get there?
Like 120 degrees.
Oh
It can get
wow.
hot. It can get very hot.
Yeah, it gets pretty warm here in Sacramento too. I mean, we had a bunch of days that were over 110 this last summer, but it seemed like last summer was a bit warmer than typical. But we'll usually get some pretty warm days. Some people don't like to ride in the heat. I'm not too bad with it, but also we have the option of being able to like drive to Tahoe, which is way up in elevation, so you can get away from the heat too and still have some really epic rides as well. So, which is nice.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
not
a lot of people are
not too
like,
far.
"What? No, not 120." Yeah, I mean the summer months you can definitely ride. Night riding becomes really popular here, so it's hilarious. Like it really is inverted because for me, all the people I see out here go night riding during the summer
Yeah,
when it's too freaking hot to do anything else. Because it'll hit 110 and you can't go riding.
my first year when I first started night riding, we ended up almost night riding through the entire year. When we had started night riding, my group of buddies, oh, ride rate and reviews on the channel too. I just noticed that. What's
Hey
up,
man,
bro?
what's going on?
Yeah. So when we had first started riding, it was because it was like winter, and you lose your daylight. So it was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to do lights if we want to keep riding. So we did that. And it was just so much fun to be out on the trail and not have anybody else there. And it also took all your trails that you've ridden a million times and made them seem brand new. And then we got to that point where, like what you were saying, where it was like, even once it got to be summer, it was like, well, let's meet up at 9, dude. It's freaking warm today. Let's just night ride, and you'd be able to like still go out and have, as long as you have good lights and batteries and whatever you need for the lights that you have. Like, I mean, we would still do 3 hour, 4 hour rides just at night.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, I just saw MTB drop in. Dude, sorry to hear that your night has been so shitty, man. Yeah, definitely give me a call. I'll hit you up with my number, man. But yeah, really hope everything turns out okay, and then it's just a family memory that you get to laugh at. Christmases in the future. But definitely thoughts go out there, man.
I didn't
Sorry
catch,
you're having a crappy day.
I didn't catch that he was having a bad day. I missed that on the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. It's good you're already laughing about it, man. That's no fun. His daughter apparently had a little bit of an accident, got her foot a little bit injured, but they seem to be in good spirits now. So that's good to hear.
Well, that's good. I know whenever my kids were young and whenever they would get hurt, you just feel like so helpless and you want, to make everything better. So I can
Oh yeah.
understand.
Yeah. I am not a parent, but I can imagine what it feels like.
So
So
Biking with Panda is saying that you can build a gimbal relatively cheap compared to buying an Evo or a Zhiyun. And I'm not exactly sure how you go about building a gimbal. Maybe Joe, but for me,
there's some things that I just want to pay for, and that would
Yeah,
be
I'm just about to say, keep in mind, Panda is a Linux kernel developer, so for
right.
him to crack open firmware on his brand new drone, you know, I think his level of entry is a lot easier than everyone else's for that kind of project. I could totally see how, because most of those parts are just bought off the shelf in China, and then they build it up to whatever schematic they need it. So I'm sure it's
I will
possible.
say this, and this is the same thing that everybody else on the internet has said: buy the freaking Evo because they're here in the States. And I will say that when my Feiyu stopped working, I I was going to ship it back to China, even though I knew it was going to take a while just to get it fixed. And my work has like cheaper shipping because they ship a lot. So, and I can ship things through there. And I went and had them tell me how much it was going to cost. It was still going to cost me like $100 to send this thing back to China. It was going to take like a month to get there, and then God knows how long for me to get it back. And at that point, I was like looking at the gimbals, and it's like, for another $80, I could just get a brand new one. It was like 180 for the Feiyu again. It was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the Evo, just like what everybody else says. They're here in the States, and I did have a problem with my my one of mine now, and I shipped it back to him. And I think from the time that I shipped it until the time that I got it back was like 2 weeks. I was really impressed with that. There were some things about the Evo that I don't like as much as I liked about my Feiyu Tech, for example. When I was riding, like I could reach down and grab my Feiyu Tech and just point it to wherever I wanted it to go, and it would stick. But my Evo, you literally have to stop and stand still to get your gimbal to readjust to a different angle. You're riding the Evo too, right?
Yeah, and I do also have some complaints, but it's kind of the lesser of the evils, right? Like you said, the customer support is stellar, and you can ship it locally. And I mean, like they're in California, right?
They're in Oregon, so.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I
Either
think
way,
they're in
it cost me
California.
like $10 to ship it to them. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, but it's still ridiculously cheap, and the customer service is stellar. And when you have a question, you can talk to someone who doesn't have a ridiculously thick accent. Trying not to get too particular there, but yeah, I just overall like them. So, but that's just me.
JT, I don't know how to say his last name. JT's leaving the live stream. He wants to say, see y'all. Good luck with the
JT,
bike.
thanks for hanging out so long, man. That's awesome. Like I said, it's been definitely a fun night, a little challenging night, but fun overall. So appreciate everyone.
Yeah, definitely has been super funny. You know what Panda just said that I completely agree with? He says that the problem with the gimbals is how sensitive they are to water. And I don't know if you guys know of or heard of this company before, but there's a place where you could send your like cell phone to, and they have some kind of gas that they pump into it to make it completely waterproof. And I'm wondering if you could send your gimbal there and make it waterproof.
Gas?
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I don't see how gas would make it waterproof. I know that there are companies that will like basically dip it in a special way.
Gas, that's how it's like in a gas form. The way that they like apply the sealant to everything, and then it dries, and then once it dries, then it's completely utterly waterproof.
Interesting.
So like what they had on their website, like they had like an iPhone with the headphones plugged in, playing in a box of water. Like, and that was back when iPhones weren't waterproof.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find the name of the site one of the flower there. Yeah, it was really interesting. And it wasn't super expensive. They're somewhere in the Bay Area too. And when I say Bay Area, for those of you who aren't from California, that's like the San Jose, San Francisco area.
All right. that on.
Yeah, Liquipel. Look it up. Liquipel. There's even a YouTube video. Imagine that.
Of course there is. Oh, so this is kind of a fun fact for all the parents out there and just other people who might be mildly amused by this. The most sought after toy this Christmas did not advertise on TV. It exclusively advertised through YouTube and toy unboxing channels.
Oh yeah, what's the toy?
Yeah. LOL surprise.
Huh.
LOL surprise. It's basically, you know, Kinder eggs.
Oh yeah, like those little things that. Yeah, I heard of those.
Yeah, but it's not candy. It's just a straight up like. It's just straight up a toy in a plastic thing.
Right on.
Yeah, kids go nuts for it because you never know what's going to be inside. So each time you open one, you're the first one opening that specific toy. Kids love it.
That's interesting.
Yep. All right. There was rhyme and reason to this build, but it's kind of just gone out the window. 62 people still watching. Who needs Brian?
Yeah. This is doing well.
Yeah.
You got 2 thumbs down. I always wonder who the thumbs down people are on the internet.
Someone who needs a hug, or has really bad aim.
Needs a hug.
Everyone needs a hug.
Everybody needs a hug.
Who doesn't want a hug?
So Simply
All right.
Single Track wants to know what bars you have on there.
I have Chromag Fubar. Basically, I just went with them because they were shiny. Well, let me see if I can punch in a little bit here. Whoop. Oh man, I'm all over the place. Hang on. See, this is what happens when you ask questions. Suddenly camera tech happens and things go wonky. Boom. There you go. I like them. They're nice. They got a nice chrome finish to them. You know, as long as you go with handlebars from a reputable company, you really don't need to worry too much if you're like me and just want them to look nice. What's uh-oh?
My whole screen went black for a second. I don't know what the heck that was all about.
Yeah, you look very stoic in your gaze. The screen is frozen for you.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that the video is not going anymore.
All right, try turning on and off. Have you tried turning it on and off?
Yeah, my Skype is going. Maybe if I turn off the video
Yeah, try that.
and then turn it back on. How about that? And boom.
Yep, there we go. You're good.
Sweet.
Looks good. All right, I see Monster Fogger. That was hilarious.
So
Hugs Rock,
Anna
yeah.
sent me a link that was to another YouTube video that showing the Zhiyun is actually waterproof.
You posting links in my live chat?
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Nice.
That's impressive.
So I'm losing viewers.
I didn't know that one was waterproof, but it's once again the Zhiyun is in China, and that's the thing that I just can't. I won't do it again. I won't buy another one that's from there, just because I want to be able to get the thing fixed whenever it's messed up and cheaply and efficiently. You know.
You want a throat to choke.
Yeah. But I want it to happen, quickly though, and that's the thing where it's like, Brian said before, like basically those couple of things that's what makes our channel keep going. So you don't really have time to like screw around waiting, so then you have to buy another one, And I mean, right now I have two gimbals, but I mean, what happened if one of my gimbals is out getting fixed and it's going to take a month and a half or 2 months for it to come back and my other one breaks? Then I'm going to end up with 3,
Exactly. Well, I mean, like, yeah, they're with my friends who do video production as a full-time career, they can't afford a day of downtime, let alone a month of downtime. So they have backup cameras. They have backup everything, basically.
What's up, Mr. Tonka?
He said, "What's up, bitches?"
Boom. Using this as opportunities. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to put on the shifter cable, which is kind of why I've reframed everything. I'm going to put that right there. Ooh, that was graceful. There we go. That looks good. All right. So who's traveling for the holidays? Everyone staying local or going out somewhere?
I am not going anywhere. I was pondering over taking some time off of work, but I'm not sure if I'm going to yet or not. Like that week in between Christmas and New Year's is so dead at work that because nobody's there. So there's part of me that's like, well, I should just take the time off and just do whatever I want. But then there's the other part of me is like, it'd be nice to get a lot of things done because nobody'd be there bothering you, you know?
Some of my most productive days were done when no one was there. There we go.
Okay.
Get everything a little bit better in focus.
So Tonka says he's going to Park City to go snowboarding.
Nice.
That sounds fun. I've never been to Park City.
I've never been snowboarding. I bolted an old snowboard, or I bolted a lawn chair to an old snowboard and then went down a hill with my friends.
Oh, really?
That went about as well as you can imagine it.
Yeah, it sounds like it was quite the wild ride.
It was fun.
Started on a snowboard when I was in high school, and when I learned how to ski, I've never touched a snowboard since. Do you ski or do you just not do snow sports?
I grew up in New Hampshire, spent 16 years there. I hate the snow. I hate the cold. There's a reason why I moved so far south.
That's funny. I love where I live now because I get to drive to the snow. And then at the end of the day, when I'm over it, I get to drive away from the snow and it's gone.
Exactly. So to correct myself, I did ski, but in the most stupid way possible. My dad was into cross-country skiing. Okay, I shouldn't say the most stupid way possible. There's a lot of people out there that enjoy cross-country skiing. Have you ever done cross-country skiing, Robert?
Yes, I have, but it was because I was in the military and we had to. But it's definitely not as fun as downhill skiing.
No, it's not.
But I will tell you, when I was in Norway, everybody cross-country skis there. Even the kids at recess would be cross-country skiing like around the property of the school for recess.
That's crazy.
Isn't it funny? Like that's how I think Norwegians are born with skis on.
Nice. All right.
All right. Let's see what else we got. Somebody said they're going to Francisco J. Santana. That's an awesome name. Las Vegas for mountain biking and Christmas. Where are you going to ride in Vegas, Francisco? That sounds exciting, actually. Phoenix Matt says, too many videos to watch. He says he's new here on your channel. Where to start?
Oof. Start at Bellingham, man. That's the video that really got me my name. I used to have my channel called something else, but then I changed it to Trail Features because everyone really liked the Bellingham video that I did. And that was when I went and hung out with my buddy Paul out in Bellingham, Washington. And it was the best trip that I've had on general purpose, but it was also awesome because of mountain biking opportunities. So
I will say that your Bellingham video is how I found your channel. And
Yep.
I am not typically a person that clicks on other videos that outside of what I wanted to watch. So I don't know what it was that like the stars aligned that day that I clicked on that video. But whenever I saw it, I was like, man, I really like this dude's channel, man. This is like, I want more of that.
MTP dropping. How far away are you from San Antonio? San Antonio is like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. It's not that bad. You can even do it in a day trip. My girlfriend and I have gone down to the Riverwalk. So I think isn't that where your wife is from? Dropping, Tony? Dude? Yeah, check it out. And then I have a bunch of playlists. So, whatever you're interested in. I got things split up into bike reviews. I got things split up into trail videos, live streams, all that stuff.
I had a bunch of playlists on my channel for a while, and then I ended up slimming them down because I always forget to freaking add my videos to the playlist, for one thing. And then also the other thing, it just started being like too much of a hassle to be updating them all, because I had like from the beginning to now, and then the other way from now to the beginning, and then it's just like it got to be too cumbersome to do them all. So I basically have like them broken out into a few categories, like you were saying just a minute ago, and then I have one category that's like the binge category, so you can watch it from the very first video to now.
Yeah, playlists are great. I always go out of my way to make them just because questions like that. I know that eventually I'm going to get to the point where I have way too many freaking videos and people are going to ask me, where do I start? And be like, A?
Yeah.
Square one? I don't know, man. So, YouTube problems, right?
Phoenix says, you'll have a new sub by morning.
I appreciate that, man. All right. Tonight's cable management brought to you by Joey's Sporadic Brain.
Francisco Santana said he's going to Bootleg Canyon. That's in Boulder City, close to Vegas.
Nice.
Sounds fun. I'll tell you what, man. I rode in Phoenix just recently, and that was my first time riding bike in a desert. And it was so different than what I'm used to riding on, or anything that I've actually ever ridden in. It was really like, it was so weird for me to like see a cactus next to where I was riding. I get over like the fact of like how different the scenery was.
Let me tell you something about riding in the desert, man. Cactus. Cactus is a problem that you have to deal with, and if you've ever dragged your knuckles through a cactus bush, you know just how miserable a bike ride can turn into very quickly when you have to sit there and tell yourself, I'm a big boy, before you pull out all those needles. Has anyone else ever had that happen to them? I know I got some people that live here in Texas, but in Colorado that's happened to me, so I'm curious if anyone has any war stories.
Too?
Yeah, man, there's tons of cactus.
Oh, Lone Ranger says, tell me about it. I actually did see on his Instagram that when he was in Phoenix, actually was in Phoenix like the week before me, got a huge one stuck in his arm.
Oh, yeah, it hurts, man. It freaking sucks. It'll suck.
I was watching the Colorado videos of No Front Brakes, and it was it was really different than some of the other videos that I've seen, like where maybe Alex was riding. And it looked like it was just a really awesome place to ride.
Oh, Colorado, yeah. I lived there for 12 years, but I did not bike there. I was a young teenager at the time, and I was too interested in, other dumb uses of my time, like video games and, chasing the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Those types of things.
I know exactly what you're saying there. It's funny, when you have different agendas in different parts of your life.
Yep.
It's funny too, like I was telling somebody recently, I don't know if it was on my live stream the other night, that my lady, she would travel to Bentonville all the time to meet with Walmart, because what she does for a job is like marketing of produce. So she would go to Bentonville all the time, and it was like never once crossed my mind like, man, I'd like to go there, because freaking why the hell would I want to go to Bentonville, Arkansas, right? And then like right around the time that Seth and Alex did those videos in Bentonville, I was like, oh my God, that place looks so awesome. I was like, hey, when are you going to Bentonville next? I can't wait to go with you. And then she's like, oh, well, I don't have that part of the country anymore, so I'm not going there anymore. And it was like all these trips that I could have went there with her on that I was just like, I don't want to go to Arkansas. And it would have been like epic to go.
Oh, man. Robert, why am I turning the handlebars while running the cabling? So if you crash your bike and your bars flip like this, you want it to be able to at least rotate this far without the cables grabbing. And I crash a lot. So basically, I am just eyeballing the amount of slack that I'm going to need. So that's why I'm doing that. Let's see. MGB drop-in, punched a cactus in Palm Canyon. Ouch. And then Carbon Horse says he went OTB on Deception. That's an epic trail here in Austin. It's actually one that Brian wants to ride. Went OTB and spent hours removing the cactus. Yeah. There's a lot of those bushes out here, and they will F you up. They will F you up big time.
Darcy's asking where BKXC is. He was here for the first couple hours of this live stream, but apparently Joseph's not as fast at building bikes as he claimed to be, and unfortunately BKXC had to take off. He had a 6 o'clock hard stop, which I can't believe that it's almost been 50 minutes since he left. That has gone by really fast, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see how long everyone wants to hang out. If I can't get this bike built, which I very may not be able to, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. Let everyone go back to their pre-holiday weekend, because it's getting close to 9 o'clock here. So I definitely believe that there's some people there that are scratching their eyes, ready to go to bed. But I'm just going to trim up this cable here, pull out the slack.
Right on. I am just trying to figure out how early I need to get up tomorrow, because I'm driving down to the Bay Area to ride, and it's about, if I remember correctly, it's saying right now it's 2.5 hours. I think it's about a solid 3-hour drive that we need to do to get there. I'm meeting up with a couple of other YouTubers.
Yes.
To do a ride down that way. So I'm going to meet up with Spawn and JC Trails, and I think Alex Chamberlain's going to be there too.
Right on.
So it should be a really, really fun day.
Yeah, I need to talk with you about some good times to come out there, because Bellingham's on my list of things to do. So is California. Colorado, I'm probably going to visit once or twice just because I have so much family there.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm going to need to talk with you. You're on this camera. I have you guys, and then I have Robert, and then I have you guys again. And this is why things got so flaky there for a second. But we still have 66 people watching. That is awesome. Thank you for spending your evening, afternoon / morning, whatever time it is. Hope you guys have been enjoying your time. I know I have.
I'm so bad with names. One of my subs met me the other day on that out on the trail, and I was convinced that his name was Chris, and I even posted about it on Instagram. And now I got a message from him on Instagram, and guess how close to Chris his name is? If Chris is spelled like Greg, that's what his name really was.
I completely missed what you just said. Sorry.
I was saying I met this sub on the trail, and I thought it was really cool, whatever. It kind of bumped into me and saw me, and I'm horrible with names, and I was positive, 150% positive that his name was Chris, and I even posted a picture of the ride on Instagram and had said, hey, I got to meet this guy Chris today. It was awesome. And then Chris messaged me on Instagram, and his name is actually spelled Greg.
Oh, wow. That's, all right, what's hitting? Okay, that's what's hitting. Let me clean that up. Musical bike. A lot of people were commenting on how considerate I am. I appreciate that you guys like how considerate I am because your time is valuable. I mentioned that earlier. I cannot give you back your time. It's the rarest commodity there is. And so there you go. I was going to say something funny, but it evaporated from my brain.
Yeah. You also can't give me back the time of watching Dallas beat the crap out of Oakland right now. So you owe me.
Oops.
They're up by 10.
Maybe you can like put it in your other ear or something like that. Although then you'll...
It actually doesn't mean that much to me, but
Well, it means a lot to me, Robert, so thank you. Just cleaning up my cables here. Cable ties. All right. You guys should see my office right now.
that I'm missing the game.
What's that?
I said I meant that it didn't mean that much to me that I was missing the game. I would much rather hang out and have some good times with my friends than watch a football game by myself.
Hi. Smash the like button. 100 likes. Get it to 100.
Yeah, you got 82 so far, so we got 50 people watching. Out of you 50
Nice.
people, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button now. Let's see how many likes we can see this thing get in like the next minute. Everybody hit the like button. We're at 89. Keep going. 93, come on. How fast can we get to 100? 97. I think YouTube can't keep up with how fast they're hitting it. 99. And who's going to be 100? Boom, we got it. 100 likes.
Nice. You guys are awesome.
That's super sick. It's still going. We're at 101.
Woo! Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Come on. Get up there, you little bugger. I probably need to take more slack out of the cable. Yeah, I'm going to pop this back.
How did you size the cable for the tube? Like, do you basically have extra length in the cable up at the handlebar, and then when you run it up to the dropper, once you push it down, then it comes back out? That's kind of how it works?
Oh, the dropper or the shifter?
The dropper.
The dropper is going to be a cluster. That's why I'm waiting for afterwards, because it's been a while since I've had to run a dropper. And it's like you have to do this magical dance of like moving the dropper lever all the way to the end to give yourself enough slack to be able to pull this guy out and go back and forth until you find the magic cable length. So right now that's why it's ridiculous. And then I'm gonna cut, once I get these things set up, I'm gonna cut the hose. We'll see how much we get done tonight. But first I need to, what's that?
On the brakes, is that what that was?
Yeah, so we're gonna bleed the brakes and do all that nonsense. Which, you know, you and Brian were talking about how that is kind of a daunting task for you and a lot of people.
Yeah, I've only done it once. I went over to a buddy's house and he showed me how to do it, and unfortunately, I should have been doing it and him just telling me what to do instead of watching him do it, because then it didn't stick in my memory too well. So I think before I feel confident with it, but it didn't. I mean, it really didn't seem that difficult.
Nice. Thanks, Monster Vlogger. See you in a little bit. Dave, thanks, man. It's looking great. Let's see. Trying to catch up with everything. All right. Yeah, but so brand new out of the box, bleeding brakes actually isn't that bad. It's actually pretty painless. So.
Right on, dude. I'm trying to figure out still what time I'm even supposed to meet these guys to get there. And I'm new.
There it is.
So they're saying 10 a.m.
Woo.
All right. So 3-hour drive. That means I got to leave here at 7. So what time should I meet the other dude that's here locally with me? Probably like 6:30. And that's gonna be an early day.
Trying to index. Why is that? Oh, I was about to say, why is that so tight?
So Drop-In says, hey, I don't mean to. Oh, it disappeared. Where'd it go? Never mind. Disappeared. Message
okay.
retracted.
I'm sure he's typing up a eloquent response to something. Maybe he's like, hey, I don't mean to be rude, but you're killing my mood, man, with all this slow.
So Tonka got on a little later, and he's asking now that if you explain why you have the hardtail. Basically, why do you have the bike? Why is this bike in the house?
Why is this in the house if I have a Yeti? I love hardtails. I think they're cool. I think they're fun. I want to be able to also travel with a hardtail because I'd be less worried about this getting damaged than anything else. So that's kind of why. And I just realized why my thing is shifting like crap is because, where is it? Boop, 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 boop. My hub came with this nice little spacer. And guess which genius forgot to put it on when he put on the cassette?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know if you can see this, but that's my cassette. So
it's not supposed to do that, dude.
Nope, not supposed to do that.
Dropper says, or Drop-In says, have you ever tried the SS Minion? After I sent him that wheel or that tire, he says he doesn't know if he'll ever run anything else in the rear.
I have. There's a joke there, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Sorry. Drop-In. I'm a child and I'm a little bit dizzy. Anyways, so I have not, but I always love playing around with tires, so I may have to look into that. There we go.
So Tonka says that it wouldn't be a bike build if you didn't have to do at least something twice, which is
exactly. Exactly, which we still have 67 people watching me rebuild a bike again and again.
So, and then also somebody else said that when you broke your chain, you tried to add 2 links to your sizing, but they think that you went the wrong way and that it's too short now.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that.
I have no clue. We'll know as soon as you put the wheel back on, we can shift it up there, right?
Well, the nice thing about chains is that they're easy to find. I can find one. If I made the chain a little too short, I'll totally own up to it and go into a bicycle sports shop and be like, so things happened. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
But I appreciate that. I am not an expert. I am not a certified bike mechanic.
So Drop-In has the same question. I think that was the first question I ever asked you. And he wants to know, what's the story with the BKXC pillow?
Okay, so what's the story? I wanted to help support Ryan, and I love t-shirts. I really do. But the thing is, I got too many of those freaking things. And so when I was on his store, I don't have an iPhone, so I can't buy a phone case. I'm an Android person. And I was looking at everything else like, well, a pillow seems nice. I could put it in the office, and then I need a chain whip. Put it in the office and have it in the background, and it'll be a conversation piece. There you go.
It's definitely started a few conversations because we did have a talk about it earlier.
Yep.
I saw that pillow on Brian's website and I was like, who buys a BKXC pillow? That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then I met Joseph and he has a BKXC pillow.
Because
remember, like,
raisins.
distinctively thinking, like, what was Brian thinking about putting a pillow on this site for? Who's
He
going
was
to do
thinking of me.
Apparently.
That was the person who he was thinking of. All right, let's see if I can do this. Get it nice and... Oop. Ha-ha! There we go.
Savant's still on.
Savant! Thanks for hanging out, man. So, I have a question for everyone. As Brian, this is the part that was missing, by the way, as Brian and Robert have found out, this live stream setup, while it is epic, it is a bit temperamental. we had a few close calls tonight and before we went live. So, question is, how do you guys like this? Do you think it's cool? Do you think I should keep trucking along, trying to tweak and tune it, make it a little bit more stable, or do you kind of, you're like, whatever, as long as we get to interact with you, that's the big thing. Because I mean, it's not like I can't keep going because I already have the stuff, but I'm just curious. What's y'all's opinion? What's your opinion, Robert?
I personally like the live streams when there's multiple of us on it. And whether or not they're in both together, sitting next to each other, or you're doing it with the video, I personally don't think it matters either way. It just makes it so much easier than just talking to the screen, because you're actually carrying a conversation, and then you can go into the comments a little here and there, and as a creator, like it's a lot easier to have other people there with you. But I've also, done plenty of 3-hour long freaking live streams just by myself. So with that being said.
True. MTV Drop-In says, shut up and keep building. That is a good point. I was going to be sarcastic, but then I thought, you know what? Yeah, he's right. That is a very accurate statement.
So what size axles do you have? Are you boost or not boost or?
Boost.
Boost.
Boosted. It is boosted, baby.
Do you think that boost will be the new standard and there will be nothing but boost?
Guess as good as mine on that one, man. I think that boost is definitely here, whether we like it or not. Will it be like the end-all be-all standard? We'll see. That's probably going to fall.
It seems like axles, really have changed a lot over the last few years, and that was one of the things that worried me the most about my bike when I bought it. Was I really wanted to make sure that I had the newest, because it seemed like it was being like every year or every 6 months they were doing a different size axle, and it was like, man, I want to be able to make sure that I can buy parts for this bike for a long time, Oh
yeah, I mean, like when I got my bike from I think they might be accurate on. No, well, we'll see. Nope, I think you're right. I think they were right. I think I made my chain too short, because I'm looking at it and it just doesn't look right. Just doesn't look right. Something's not right. That shouldn't be.
I thought you were shifting through all your gears earlier, though.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see. I don't know. What's the chat think? The hanger's all the way down here. I feel like that's on the smallest cog. That's not right. Something's not right.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't look right.
Because that's their smallest cog?
Yeah, that doesn't look right.
So the conversation that some people may have not been here for earlier was how many quick links have you had in your chain at the most? And Joe's story was 3 because he cut his chain too short, and I think we're about to have 3 again.
Yep, but I only have. Oh my gosh!
You only need 2. You only need 2 because you just add another section of chain in there. As long as you don't break it.
Another? I think I'm gonna make it like I think I have another chain here. Shift to largest. Afraid I might break it. I don't know, Carbon. That already looks pretty wonky. I ain't no expert, but that don't look right there. That don't look right at all. What do I have here? Do I have see how long this chain is. This chain might be ready to go. And I think this is an X1 as well. Yeah, this is an X11. Let's see. Let me not break this, but remove the link. Because, yeah, I don't like how that's looking. Let's try shifting.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see it go.
Ugh, I already don't like where that's headed. Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, it should not be like that. Oh my gosh, I made it way too short.
It could go up still. I mean, that derailleur could go all the way straight.
I don't know. What say you, Chad? I'm pretty sure that it's too short. Yeah, everyone's
no, it's definitely too
screaming.
short.
Yeah, let me ditch this chain. I must have been distracted when I was talking to you guys because I've put on a lot of chains before. Brand new chains, and I've never done this before.
Well, Michael Berger said that when you were talking about it, you were saying that you wanted to add 2 links, but you subtracted 2 instead of adding 2.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Savant says it's either short or you don't have the derailleur on right.
Can it be both? Because, yeah, I mean,
think the chain is the next thing to go. I think
I agree. I'm
gearing,
looking forward to, no, I put it on right, guys. Because that's the jockey wheel, comes up, goes over.
Carbon Force says, how many links does it take to be a biker?
2.
No, I totally think the chain is the biggest drawback at this point. I can see the chain going, and I honestly think that the electronic shifting as well will be more prevalent as they can bring the cost down. So you'll probably see the electronic shifting first, and then you'll see that internal gearing as they can get it lighter and give you the span, you know.
Oh yeah, that looks better. Because I got all that. So we'll use this chain. And that is why you hoard bike parts, because you never know when you're going to screw up in front of, how many people are watching?
76. Crashing gas. Max says, whoa, still going.
Still going strong. And you said, how many?
75.
75. We went up. Brian left, and the internet was like, nay, we shall not abandon ye. Getting all biblical on y'all.
I bet you the like search helped.
Probably.
Everybody hit the like button. Probably threw it up there, and maybe that's what it was.
There are a lot of people who are already in vacation mode. And they're like, yeah, this will do.
Yeah.
This is a good reason not to go socialize with my family.
Right. Brandon Paul from San Antonio is giving you a little shout out.
Brandon, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You just missed me being humbled in front of. Oh yeah, that looks way better, guys.
Mrs. Trail Features is on the channel, and she says if you keep hoarding bike parts, she just might abandon ye.
Thanks, Kristen. Love you too. Which, as I said earlier, she saved my ass like no less than 3 times today. So, love you, honey. There we go. All right, let's try this again.
Drop-in's trying to set something up with the crashing dad. I don't remember where the crashing dad is at. Isn't he in Colorado?
Grand Junction.
Utah?
Colorado.
Is that Colorado or Utah?
Colorado.
Colorado, okay. Biking with Panda is asking if you're married.
No, we are not married. We are happily unmarried with a dog, and we rent a house. We are about as millennial as you can get.
So basically that translates
Fruta.
into
Fruta, that's where crashing dad is.
Buying bike parts.
What's that?
I said instead of buying a ring, he keeps buying bike parts.
Hey, she bought herself a bike too.
There you go. Who needs a ring when you can have a chain ring?
Exactly. Ah, that's better. Yes. Woohoo!
So where did that chain come from?
That came from my goodie box. I've had to experiment with chains before in the past, so I'm gonna leave myself an inch there. So yeah, I have a lot of spare parts. I have in the garage a parts bin with a bunch of stuff. So Trail Features. So who is Mrs. Trail Features? That is Kristen. As my girlfriend, we actually met in Colorado. She followed me down here when I got a job in Austin. So we've known each other for like more than 5 years at this point.
Nailed it. Jordan
Exactly.
says.
Nailed it. How long have you been together? Yes. She puts up with a lot.
Oh my.
Indeed.
Well, this
All right.
is good. Looks like you're just about done here. What are you doing for grips?
Grips. We are actually just about done. At least the stuff that I'm going to bore you guys with. All the cable management stuff I'm going to take care of on my own. And that. Sorry if I just blast your eardrums.
Brandon wants to know the rundown of the parts real quick too.
I will do that in just a moment because one of them ran away and I need to find it. All right, I'm going to set that down.
Josh Pichon, I think, is asking where you're based. He's new to the channel.
I am in Austin. There it is. There you are, you little guy. Okay. So, what had happened was I had bought, this is a Ibis wheel set with Pro 4 Hope hubs. Sorry, let me get this. I hate this view. There we go. That's better. Pro 4 Hope hubs. This is an 11 to 42 Shimano XT cassette. Made it up to an XT derailleur. Got a XT brakes front and rear. Have a P&W component dropper post that they provided graciously. I'm going to be doing a review on this. They also provided a stem here. And then, let's see what else. XT shifter. The fork is a RockShox Yari customized with an MRP ramp control, which I did a review on that. If you want to know more about it, it gives you a nice rundown of what it is, why you'd want it, and who it's not for.
The cool thing about the stem also is that it is
a GoPro mount on it.
It also has a GoPro mount on it.
Yeah, you can't see it, but let's see.
Crashing Dad says people are going to go out and randomly create Mrs. Insert YouTube channel name now accounts.
Yeah, no, Kristen is perfectly happy being off the camera. Sometimes she amuses me by being in my videos, but she prefers to just sit on the sidelines and cheer along.
Yeah, my lady doesn't even watch my videos.
That might be a good thing because you know Kristen will sometimes look at the videos and be like, "How much time and money did you spend on this again?" But then I also have ODI Ruffian grips here that I'm going to install here in a second.
Nice red grips, sweet.
Yeah, this is going to look really nice. So let me see what we got going on here. Hey Nate, welcome back.
No views from his lady either. Yeah, mine is sick of hearing me talk about YouTube. She would probably burn YouTube to the ground if she could, because that's all I talk about.
Nice. All right. Is there a left and a right here? If I can put grips on, that would be the bare minimum amount of bike mechanic skills that I would hope I have built up over the years. There it is. Brandon Paul, frame size and size tires. The frame is a 19.5. That's a large. And then I think that's like a medium large. Yeah, it's a large. 19.5. Tires are 29ers. 2.5 in the front, 2.3 in the rear, but I'm going to be putting a 2.5 on the back as well later. I'm going to experiment between the two. And yeah, also going to run 27 plus on
the
it.
back you said earlier, and
Maxis Minions.
oh, so the Minion both front and back.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. I haven't run Minions before, so I want to see what all the nonsense was. For the longest time I kept saying like, oh yeah, they came on my Yeti, and then I went out there and looked and I was like, oh, those are Recons. I'm an expert.
The Crashing Dad said the Crashing Mom is adamant about watching his videos and not skipping the ads.
Yeah, I've actually some of Kristen's family members are fans of the channel, and they one of them asked me like, "Hey, do you not get any money if I skip the ads?" I was like, honestly, I probably wouldn't notice if you did because they're like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. The Lone Ranger says that his lady says that he's just living the Lone Ranger lifestyle.
Yep.
We should that would be a good video for Bobo to do. Interviews with all the wives and girlfriends and how they feel about YouTube.
Oh, I could only imagine what Kristen has to say about it. She has been very supportive, though, I will say. Because as anyone who has tried or is working on a YouTube channel, you invest a lot of time, money, and effort into doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely way more work than it appears when you're watching it.
It is an insane amount of work. The filming, let alone the editing. Because yeah, it's nuts. All right.
Panda's telling people that you're 6'8" and no weight, you're 7 foot tall or 8. Actually, he's 6'2".
Come on. There's like these little bar end things that go in there, and I'm trying to slide them in.
Jordan Byron wants to know if Kristen will be a regular on your Anyone Can Make an MTV channel series.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, like the big thing was Kristen and I, Kristen is getting into mountain biking too, but she doesn't like the really chunky technical trails that I like to do. So there's actually a really awesome green trail in South Austin that has enough tech on it that even I'm kind of like, oh, this is fun. And so I wasn't feeling too hot, but I needed to make a video. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to leave all my gear at home and I'm going to do this. Anyone can start a YouTube channel. And I'm going to, take Kristen, I'm going to use it as a reason for Kristen and I to go riding, and then I can take it easy and I don't have to carry all my extra camera gear. So it was actually a really good series of events leading up to that video. And it also got me going on the video because I've been putting it off for a while. I had all the parts around, but I was like, nah, I want to do cool things. I want to be super flashy with all my high production.
I think it's a great idea for a series.
It's awesome.
The Crashing Dad says his wife talks about making videos that make fun of his.
I'd subscribe.
It would be pretty funny.
It would be awesome.
He said, hell, if she puts in the work, thumbs up.
Yeah, you know what? I will say this. I will never crap on anyone else's channel. I don't care how rough around the edges it is or anything like that. I will never crap on anyone's channel because I know how much work goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're no matter what, you're putting yourself out there, and that takes something, that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shoot, I'm standing here in front of how many people talking about random stuff?
84 now.
84, it's going up.
Yep.
Wow, that is
and now
awesome.
I said that, it went to 83.
Damn it.
Lost one.
That one person was like, oh, I'm going to show him.
Yeah, right.
Ego getting all out of control. 105? Seriously, Shane?
It says 87 on mine. So if it says 105 on somebody else's, right on.
What internet are you using, Shane?
Scotland says the MTB Scotland says the bike looks sweet.
Yeah. I'm glad this could take long enough for you to hop on, man. we were chatting over Instagram, and he's like, you know, got to go do adult things, and so, you know, see if you're still on. If you're wondering where Brian is, BKXC, he had to bail because he's like, this is gonna take all night. I don't have time for these people. No, Brian was awesome. I'm so awesome. I'm so stoked that he came out and helped you know, in a way, both of y'all helped put this on. You guys are co-stars, so definitely appreciate it.
No, I think that this was a really good one. Tonka's asking if it's your first live stream.
Tonka, no, it's not my first live stream. I'm sorry, that was probably really loud. Trying not to shout. I know I have the lav mic right here, but I'm just so excited. No, it's not my first live stream. It is my first time live streaming with this many people, with such a complex setup, and while building a bike. So I decided, let's go all in. Let's do it big.
Somebody's asking where my beer was. I'm gonna throw that out there real quick.
Oh, dude, thanks for reminding me. So there should be a care package showing up tomorrow. It is going to Brian's house because it would have been really expensive to ship 2 boxes. So I just shipped 1 big ass box. And I sent a bunch of stuff to you and Brian to try out. The majority of it is good. There's a couple gag things that, like, you know how Brian doesn't drink beer, but he'll drink soda on occasion. There's some really awesome sodas that I discovered, and so I sent them out. I also, because of the place that I work, which shall not be mentioned, I was able to get my hand on some other type of food products, but they are the more health conscious, and some of them may not taste that great.
Oh, awesome.
Because I grabbed them and I was like, oh yeah, cool, here we go. And then I actually grabbed some for myself, and Kristen cracked one open and she took a swig, and she's like, there's something wrong with that. I was like, yeah, there's something wrong with that. I sent one of these to Brian. He's going to unsubscribe and never talk to me again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So
I'll be right back. They're barking. I'm gonna go check and see how it's going on now.
I'm going to catch up. 100 watching. Well, there was. Anyways. Okay, so OKC mountain bike, because I'm not going to try to pronounce the first part. Let's see. Being new to the channel, what are your other rides? My other rides. I have a 2016 Salsify, which I actually built up. That was pretty much the first video that I've uploaded. Mr. Tonka with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. That is awesome, man. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get used to the idea that, like, I've hit 1,000 subscribers and you guys are spending your afternoon with me, your evening, maybe your morning even, which is crazy to me that this has grown so big. So thank you so much. But goodness, thank you. Actually, I'm getting kind of hungry. I might, hopefully we can finish this up soon. So I think I might want to let you guys go. Well, not right now, so don't drop off. But anyways, Rate Review. Thank you so much, Rate Review, for hanging out. And by the way, been drinking some red tea because I haven't been feeling too well. So if you happen to know of any good red teas, let me know. I would definitely like to try some out. It's one of my favorite. Let's see. 3:24 a.m. MTV Scotland. You have a family and kids, man. Thank you for hopping on. Let's see. How did you decide on which cassette? Short version was I had it laying around. I did. I had the stuff. Oh, you work late, Scotland. That's right. You're on like shift work, right? That sucks. I used to do that. So I appreciate you hopping on. But anyways, cassette pretty much had that. That's why I went for it. Sweet. Thanks, Raid. Raid. Thanks, Raid. Messing up everyone's name. To get back to the question about then you just adjust the chain. Brandon, yeah, we had a little bit of an issue with the chain, so we're not going to delve into that. There's a bunch of videos on how to properly size a chain. I would not use my example as the one. I'm pretty sure everyone here is chuckling who watched it. or derailleur. That's, yeah, we're getting into some technical stuff. One of these days I'll make a video on how to properly set up a drivetrain through the many mistakes that I've made trying to do it. So what type of bikes do I have? A 2016 Salsa Via, which is kind of a gravel adventure bike. Have you gotten your $100 payout yet? Apparently mine got lost in the mail. I don't know.
Ooh, $10 super chat.
$10 super chat from Tonka. Spreading the love.
Nice.
Your bike looks like a prison shank for the trails. You know what? I was trying to think of a fun name for this guy, and we'll go back to that in a second because I do want to finish answering this question. 2016 Salsa Via adventure bike. I have a 2017 Yeti SB5 Plus full suspension carbon mountain bike, and then I also have a Redline device jumper bike that I bought with the best intentions in the world to learn how to do all sorts of sick tricks. And then I turned like 32 and realized that my bones take a lot longer to heal. So hopefully I'll dust that off here pretty soon and start actually going on a ride with that. But I think that's it. Oh yeah, and then this guy, obviously, this is the newest edition. What is the color? What color is that officially? I think it's Stellar Blue. So if you go to Chromag's website later, you can look up Stellar Blue Root Down BA. That's the type you got there.
It definitely is stellar. I will give it that. They named it well.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I was trying to think of a name for this. I don't really name my bikes because I don't know, reasons. I have nothing against anyone who names their bike. I think it's cool to name the bikes. You know, give it a little bit of a personality.
I named my single speed Charlie because I saw Charlie Sheen do this interview once, and he said, "I have one speed, go." And
well,
so I named my single speed Charlie.
I might name it like Bruiser, black and blue and red all over.
There you go. I like it.
So something like that. If you ever find yourself in Whistler, go to Chromag and meet the people behind the bikes. They're rad people. Definitely will, Lone Ranger. I do want to be able to start touring some stuff. Yes, Ryan, exactly. Get out of my head, man. That is one of the big reasons why I got this, is because I have the SB5 Plus, so I have 27 Plus tires that I can run on this. Let's get back to getting a few things dialed in, but I think we're getting pretty close. I'll leave it to you guys. Do you want to watch me bleed the brakes? Are you curious, or are you just kind of like, yeah, get it close enough and then wrap up, Joe? Your soft, silky voice has become a little bit dry. It's a very interesting name, Colt.
Nate Palmer wants to know if you want to come out to PA to Dirt Fest on May 18th. Where at in PA is that, Nate Palmer?
Nate Palmer.
You got my interest because I am actually from Pennsylvania.
My girlfriend is too as well. So, do I want to? I might. I need to see. Like I said, I need to figure out all my travel. I need to get with this guy. This guy.
This guy.
Move over. There we go. This guy. I also need to get with some friends up in Washington because I'm going to go up to Bellingham.
I saw something else too that popped up. Now I lost it.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, what car did you go with? I think that's the Mucky Futz, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Mucky Nuts. Which, by the way, guys, I'm going to fix the super chat, or well, just the chat in general. I set it for 15 seconds. I don't think that's long enough. I think that adding it to like 25 or 30 seconds, because, you know, maybe when I, you know, crazily thinking about that, it'd be crazy to hit that. But like if I get up to like Seth type chats where like every freaking chat just goes by, then we might actually tweak that. Yes, I love the color too. All right. So, I mean, I've pretty much got everything on here. This is just cable management. So I will leave it up to you guys. Do you want to keep chugging along? Do you want to see me do some quick cable management, bleed the brakes, all that stuff? Or do you want to wrap this up? I am game to keep going. Robert, how are you feeling? Do you
I
have
think
places
I'm
to go?
gonna bow out here soon. If you're gonna bleed the brakes, I think I'm gonna rock and roll because I need to get something to eat for dinner. It's
Yeah, definitely.
but somebody
Definitely.
asked there on what part of PA I'm from. I'm from York, Pennsylvania. So like the peppermint patty.
Monster Vlogger, I'll let you know when I'm up in Washington, because I do want to try to start meeting you guys who are remote. Okay, I'm getting a lot of people asking to bleed the brakes. So I guess we can keep going. And when you are done, have I officially gone longer than Biker on a live stream? Have I been able to truck my way through it?
How many hours have we been on? What time did we start?
Get some food on camera. I might actually have to grab some food myself. We have been live streaming for 3 hours, 29 minutes, and 50 seconds.
No, you haven't beat me yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, let me just, how do I want to do these? Let me get, that was like an Elmer Fudd.
What's up?
What?
Oh, Rudy.
What's happening?
Rudy's in here. He wanted to be in the camera. He wanted to be on the show.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was talking to Kristen about it. I was like, it'd be really awesome to have Rocco in the live stream. And then like Rocco came into my office while we were talking about that, and just he is a bull in a china shop. He has such a gentle personality, but he is a bull in a china shop when it comes to actually walking around. So he would have knocked over everything in here, and probably the camera, and then there would have been crying and gnashing of teeth. And where did I put my cable?
Rudy's just walking around eating rocks. So
that sounds like a Labrador mix.
yeah. He's Empty Bean Adventures wants to know how long I went. Somebody said earlier that one of mine was 5 hours. I wouldn't doubt it.
Nice. All right, let's get this cleaned up.
Nate Osborne's asking where I bought this shirt at. Or no, he's asking where you got your shirt at.
Amazon. It was just one of those generic things. I bought like I said, I love to collect t-shirts. So I often get distracted on themes. And so I just went onto Amazon and bought a bunch of bike themed shirts.
Yeah. When I started my channel, I did the same thing, and I used a website called sunfrogs.com. And I bought a bunch of different bike shirts because I thought that it would be appropriate if I was making how-to videos or whatever that I had a bike shirt on. And,
exactly.
And I like wearing them. So.
Yep, they're comfy. Let's see. Nice AT-AT. Just noticed. Yeah, this is one of the original ones from like back in the 90s when they made them. So I like it myself as well. And how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? Do I want to?
Crashing Dad says, drunk live streams at like 3 a.m. getting notifications in the middle of the night. Yeah, sounds like me.
Yeah.
I'm. Is that I just like I turn on the live stream when I just want to have people to talk to. So it doesn't necessarily. I don't typically have a scheduled one, which I should do, but it's just kind of like that's why I don't leave them on too. Like some of them I just delete. I feel like that sometimes some of that content is for the people who were there, and so other ones I leave up.
Oof, hang on. Someone said something with Francisco. Yeah, Rocco's a cool dog. He has so much freaking personality. I raised him from a puppy. Once upon a time, I actually used to work in a veterinary office as a vet tech assistant, more or less. And that was where I met Rocco, because his mom got out one day, who was the dog of one of the people who worked there. His mom got out one day, shenanigans happened, and suddenly baby Rocco came into the world.
Shenanigans happen.
Shenanigans.
Salon said my live streams are like 5 hours Snapchats.
Nice. Biker, do you mind holding down the fort? I'm just going to get a quick bike stand to hold this thing in place. So I will be right back.
All right. So, how many people here on the channel have been here since the beginning? Because I am surprised. I'm always surprised how many people will actually sit here the entire time and go along for the ride. I saw some other people also. So Adventures, MTV and Adventures been here the whole time. The other thing that shocks me too is whenever people watch these after the fact. I personally have a really hard time watching live streams after the fact, but some people, they surprise me, like, because sometimes with mine, like I was saying, I just get on, I chat for a while, and typically a lot of them I delete, but I can't delete them until YouTube is done processing them, so it doesn't even give you the option to delete it. And so I'll just go to bed and then get up in the morning and delete it. And usually by the time I wake up in the morning, somebody's already commented and watched the entire thing. And it's like a couple of hours. And I'm like, it just blows me away. I'm not a person that's very good at watching the live streams after the fact.
All right. I should have grabbed some food when I was out there. But anyways, motivation to work faster. Did I miss anything?
So what's your plan? Are you going to do the breaks? Are you going to wrap it up, or?
I'm going to do the breaks real quick, but if you need to bounce because you have been going strong for most of the day, and I know you had like something that you came from, so if you need to call it, Robert, I think I can manage. What was that?
Some people are telling me I just need to order food.
Just like have it delivered to your house and open the garage when the pizza guy gets here.
Tell him, come to the garage, please.
Yeah. Leave it outside, and whatever you hear, do not look back.
Nate Palmer says, come to Philly and I'll get you a cheesesteak.
Ooh.
You know what I miss about home? The food that I miss from Pennsylvania the most is stromboli. I don't know. Have you ever had stromboli, Joe?
Probably, but I couldn't tell you.
So stromboli is kind of like a pizza pocket or a calzone, but it has meat in it. And
then I probably have.
Yeah, they're my favorite food of all times. When I go home, I pretty much eat stromboli every day that I'm home.
Nice. I grew up in New Hampshire, so when I go back, I have to get seafood, and it's usually New England clam chowder.
Oh yeah, clam chowder is a good one.
Got
It's
it.
funny, like I always there's always food that I miss from different places that I've lived. When I lived in Germany, the thing that I miss the most from Germany is they have these little Turkish donor stands, and these Turkish donors are like so freaking good. And that's like the one thing that I think about whenever I'm thinking about there. I think
go ahead.
Oh, go for it.
I was going to say another career that I used to have was working as a field engineer for a software company, and that took me out to Germany, among other places, also Poland. And I have very, very fond memories of staying in Velberg. And there was this hotel there, and they made the most amazing homemade pumpkin soup. And they made freshly made bread. And basically, we would get done with work for the day, and whoever got to the hotel first would just go downstairs, reserve a table, and then everyone else who was working the contract would come in, and we'd all sit down, and everyone would order a bowl of this delicious pumpkin soup and at least one loaf of bread, and then we'd all get beers, and that would be how we start the evening, and then we would just eat and drink beer all night and just gorge ourselves. It was so awesome. I gained so much weight. Like legitimate weight. There we go.
I gained a bunch of weight when I moved to Germany from drinking their Hefeweizen.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize, and when I moved there, I mean, I was pretty young, and I gained like 10 or 15 pounds. Like as soon as I got there, I was like, holy shit, I need to put a stop to this.
Moving this around. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah, it's traveling traveling is great because you get to take in the culture, and that usually means taking in the local flavors. And that is very off level.
No Breaks 23 says they have donors in Irvine, which I was actually just in Irvine like a week ago. Should have got a donor while I was there. I didn't know they had them. And then another guy is talking about getting donors in Stuttgart whenever. I'm assuming he must have been military because there's a base in Stuttgart as well.
Yeah. It's funny, right? You can tell when why people are out there. Oh, it's in Velberg. Oh, okay. Is that near Hohenfels?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So let's see. Let me get this set up. What's going on in the chat? Monster Vlogger, thanks for hanging out, man. Yeah, it's fine. You got to drop off. I know people got to get ready for the work day. But let's see. See how much I actually want to try to get done on this.
So Adventures we rode today. I did not ride today.
First off, I just want to... This is going to hurt barefoot. And it's probably not going to be good for the bike. But see if I can drop the seat. There we go. Oh, yeah. This is janky as crap, but man, this is awesome. It's always so cool when you get to sit on the bike for the first time. Like, I've never ridden one of these. I just kind of eyeballed the geometry based off of other bikes that I have built. But, ooh, this is... Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm definitely glad
that I... Do you know
that
what the head tube angle is on that?
65 degrees.
Oh, nice.
So we got 65-degree head angle, 150 mils of travel on a 29er. It is going to be a beast of a bike. And
dude, that's the bike I want to build, man.
Yeah,
check out the website now.
Yeah, no, Chromag makes awesome bikes. So here, I know that's not how you get off a bike, but that's how I'm getting off of it. The only complaint that I really have about this bike is that it does not have the ISCG mount points for these guys because I specifically bought this to be on this bike because I bought one for my Yeti, and then I just assumed all bikes came with it. So when I got the bike in the mail and looked at it, I was just like, huh, it doesn't come with the mounts for bash guard. That's weird. Huh. So yeah, no brakes. It's slack. It is slack. Is this camera gonna focus on my face? Maybe. We'll see. It's on autofocus. Man, you know what, guys? It's getting pretty late. I think I've gotten most of the components on. Robert's got to eat. I got to eat. I'm getting hungry. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just call this because I don't want to bore you guys with the cable management. I know a lot of you want to hang out and see the bike get finished, and I definitely appreciate it. But I am only one man, and I have been at this. I've been at this for a while. There's a lot of prep work that went into this. So, Robert, what you got to say about this whole situation?
This was just super fun. It was super fun hanging out with you, hanging out with Brian. The bike looks beautiful. I can't wait to see the videos that you make with it. So
yeah, you know what? Let's
excited.
Before you guys go, I'm gonna do a little bit of camera work. I'm gonna get the bike all nice and framed up with that ridiculous cable management going on in the front there. Give me a second here. Get my
the crashing mom joined the live stream, and she says her first YouTube video is going to be organizing one space for all the gear and shit your mountain biking husband brings home and leaves in various places throughout the house.
That is awesomely correct. That is awesomely correct. All right, let's. Don't know if I can get that sweet bokeh from here, but we'll try. We'll try. Oh wait, no, that's actually a pretty tasty shot. Get the focus set just right.
So you guys are watching Trail Features have sex with his bike right now.
Yes, you are. You're a dirty little bike, aren't you? We'll stop there. Let's see how that looks. I don't know how well. Actually, let's see something else. If I can, I think there was one more. Let me duplicate this real quick.
Oh, that looks sweet.
We'll go over here. We'll just get rid of that, and then we'll get rid of this. There you go. The craziness up here will be taken care of. Please don't worry about that. Yes, Scotland. That is very true. There's still a lot of TLC to be done, but I am excited to take this bike on its maiden voyage. Bring that bad boy out to Calais and we go riding. Yes, definitely. This is going to be the bike that travels around. Where is it? There it is. It's actually kind of a fun shot. Also on the wrong sides. You're on the wrong side, Scotland. You're the reason why. What's that?
Oh, I will say that I would want to take you on some trails that you might not like that bike for, but
maybe.
I assure
By the way,
you,
Scotland,
you'll
I'm just
definitely be
giving
able
you
to
crap.
ride some good stuff with that thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be awesome. Moto Break for life. Crashing Dad, I think Crashing Dad's confused about the brakes. So overseas, the front brake is actually on the right, not the left, and vice versa. So it's funny when Europeans and other countries come over to the U.S. and they rent a bike, the very first thing they have to do is swap the brakes around. Otherwise, they do an endo. Bring the full suspension also. I'm not going to not travel. I'm not going to leave the Yeti at home all the time. I'll definitely travel with it. But it'll be fun to see just what shenanigans I can get into with this. As I get older, I'm sure the hardtail will be less and less fun. But I've seen some pretty old school guys rock full rigid, so I have hope for the future. But yeah. Robert, any last words?
What was that?
Any last words? Sorry, I was trying to get
No, just like I said earlier, man, it was super fun to hang out, and I just can't wait to see the video of this thing out in the trail. I think it'll be a lot of fun and a lot of fun to hear your opinion on what you picked, and I think that we should start in the comments for those of you watching this later. Let's make bets on which part he replaces first.
I like that. That's a good one. I'll have to put that in a comment and pin it at the top. That could be your manual bike. Yeah, it could. Well, actually, it's pretty slack. I did go with shorter chain stays on this bike on purpose because I'm usually a big, long wheelbase, long chain stay, stable as crap. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's a different bike, and I purposefully bought it that way. It has geometry numbers that I like, other geometry numbers that I normally wouldn't go with. So very excited to do a full review. This is going to be going out with me to Colorado for Christmas. So I am going to break it in on the Colorado trails. But let's see. Trail features. Without spoiling it for me, what do you think of the new starters if you have seen it? I don't quite follow drop in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's talking about either.
Yeah, if you can give me a little bit more to work with. Star Wars. What do I think of it? Overall, I really liked it. It's definitely worth seeing. It's a little bit hit or miss in some scenes, but you'll like it. Oh, I was going to use these as a prank, to point out parts, but I got so distracted. As you can see, it's got a 65-degree head angle. Look at that nice logo right there. So my girlfriend works in the educational field, so she has these for the kids, so you can point to things.
Nice.
Anyways, that was random.
Sweet.
But what was that, Robert?
I said sweet.
Sweet, indeed. It took a much different direction than I was expecting. Pick your nose with it. No, it doesn't work that well. I tried. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Robert, thank you for hanging out with me. And Brian, thanks for being on the live stream earlier. I'm sorry it didn't go as quickly as I thought. Got a little bit of OCD, had some technical problems. But it was an amazing experience. We're definitely going to have to try to do something like this again. And until next time, get out there and find your next adventure.
Right
Have a good
on.
night, guys.